As our streaming audience join us through VFL.com.au, welcome to Box Hill City Oval. It is round 21, the final round of the home and away season, and we're looking forward to a big game. It is the Box Hill Hawks needing a win or a draw to get into the finals this season. It's as simple as that. And for Collingwood, a few players looking to put their best foot forward ahead of finals coming up for the AFL team. They are in fact out of VFL finals contention. Hard could totally workwear VFL Live this afternoon. Peter Mercado, Michael Peppicelli and Mark Stone with you this afternoon. And we're taking a look at the other games going on around the place. Footscray 6-11-47 at half-time against Coburg 7-4-46. That match at VU Whitten Oval. And Footscray, a win today will pretty much lock up second spot on the ladder. And we'll have that all sorted out. Mark Stoney's on the boundary. Stoney, some news?
Yeah, just a bit of a number change there for the Collingwood side. Max Keane will wear 65, not 47.
Okay. So if you're playing along at home, 47 becomes 65, just like that. So just going through the ladder of heading into this round, Richmond on top. They've finished the home and away season clear on top on 64 points. Footscray with the game today on 54, chance to get to 58. If they stumble, the Bulldogs, and it opens the door for Williamstown to grab that home final. Of course, they're playing for the home final there. Also on 54 points, they've got a match with Werribee this evening. And then Essendon can't move out of fourth spot no matter what. They're on 48 points. Then it becomes interesting, Michael, because we've got Port Melbourne on 42 points, their season done. Werribee get a win today, they move on to 44 points. Geelong get a win, they move on to 44 points. So they'll actually jump over the top of Port Melbourne. And Casey stranded to 8th on 36 points. And then we've got Box Hill on 34 points. And the teams not in finals contention, Northern Blues and Collingwood on 28 points, Sandringham and North Melbourne on 20, Coburg on 8 and Frankston on 4.
That's right, Peter. It really is one of the interesting elements of the VFL, the fact there is 15 teams in the competition, which means at least one team has a bye week in, week out. This week, the AFL Vics decided to go with the 5 byes, which means, well, creates all sorts of chaos, really, as you mentioned, in that final 8. Geelong, probably the team in pole position because they get to play last, so they know exactly what they need to do with Williamstown and Werribee playing tonight. So they could move up as high as 5th, and that would give them a real chance taking on either Box Hill or Casey to progress further on in the final series. But so many permutations, and this game probably the one that has the most on the line for Box Hill this afternoon.
I tell you, it's my favourite time of the year. When we start talking about permutations, that's what I love about this. It is fantastic. And we work out who's going to be playing where and what. The top 2 teams get a home final, so it will be Richmond taking on Essendon at the Swinburne Centre. That's the Swinburne Centre at Punt Road Oval next week. All the times and everything to be confirmed.
Could that be a Friday night, Pierre?
I don't know. They've got the Legends game on, so VFL.com.au to get all that information from tomorrow afternoon. We'll have the full list of who's playing where and how it's all going to work, and also news about our coverage as well. So we'll let you know where we're going to be for the start of the final series. The captains are making their way into the middle of the ground. Jack Hallier doing the toss of the coin, the co-captain with Alex Woodward, and Andrew Moore there as well. Stoney, he's won the toss.
There we go. Contemplating. Collingwood, Jack Hallier has won the toss. Will kick to the right hand of the dial. That's the scoreboard here at Box Hill.
Which actually, if you're watching, because the camera's over the other side of the ground, so it'll be on your left of screen.
Okay, there you go. Camera's on the other side. And there is a 3 to 4 goal breeze to that end, which Collingwood are kicking, Pierre.
All right, so the breeze has been up. I think it's dropped off a little bit during the VFL women's game a little bit earlier. Just updating you on some scores in the women's competition. 36-30, a win for Richmond over the Southern Saints. An important win for them. Managed to get over the line. So as it stands right now, it's Collingwood in top spot, Southern Saints in second. Then you've got the Western Bulldogs, Richmond, Hawthorn. And then you've got Melbourne Uni rounding out the top 6 and Geelong just outside. So Geelong and Carlton is the next game coming up. We'll keep you updated with all that as well because they're right into crunch time in terms of finals as well. But our focus is round 21 here at the Box Hill City Oval. and we're looking forward to it. It is Box Hill and Collingwood. Two teams getting into their huddles, and now the Pies getting into position. We won't be too far away from it starting this one. AFL matches going on around the place as well as Sydney and St Kilda this afternoon. It's 24 playing 8. Sydney leading there 13 minutes into the first quarter, and in about 10 minutes time North Melbourne and Melbourne down in Tassie. We'll have plenty of scores around the grounds this afternoon.
Daniel Wells starting on the bench, gents.
They played earlier in the season, and it was a win for the Pies, actually coming from behind 5-1 in the final quarter. It's been a tough season for Collingwood. No scores over 100 points, interestingly enough, and for Box Hill, 8-1 on the season. They snapped a 3-game losing streak last week with that win over the Northern Blues. So it's all to play for here. Our umpires Michael Pell, Jack Edwards and Nathan Toner for this one. And a good crowd too, an excellent crowd. Hard to find a parking spot out there, let me tell you. It's hard at the best of times around these parts.
Very odd park, 14 miles away, Pierre.
Yep, I need the steps as well. But here we go. A win for Box Hill and they play finals. A loss and they're out. Umpire holds the ball aloft and we're set to go. Round 21 here at the Box Hill City Oval on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live.
So it'll be a couple of AFL listed ruckmen to get us going. Pitternet and Lynch for Collingwood. The bounce favoured Pitternet, but Lynch wins the clearance. And inside forward 50, the Pies go. Crocker, the target of the kick, had it thumped away from him. Mirror trying to mop up at ground level. Wilson was there though for Collingwood. Plenty of numbers around this footy, and eventually Glover forced over the boundary line. So 20 seconds in, the Pies have the first forward 50 entry. As the ball is thrown in about 15 metres around from the left behind post for Collingwood. Pitternet in front position. We have a whistle for a ruck infringement, and that might be a Collingwood free kick.
Throw it again, gents.
No, we're doing it again.
Throwing it again. I thought I saw the umpire point the way of a Collingwood free kick, but it'll just be another boundary throw, and it did fall short. This one carries long and strong, so play goes on. Broomhead in amongst it, and now a kick comes in towards the top of the square for Collingwood. Bouncing ball will be handled there for Box Hill by Greaves, and they can rebound off half-back through DeWitt.
May only be temporary though, because trying to take the juggling mark is Tardry for Collingwood at half-forward. He's going to get the free kick and a chance to go back inside 50. Dorian standing the mark. It's too far out to score. As he'll just put it as long as possible. It's a high ball looking for the tall timber. No one could take the mark. Now a chance quickly out of the pack is through for a behind. And Broomheads see that one through. Early stages. This one, the equation simple for Box Hill. The Hawks ranked first for kicks per game. Collingwood first for handballs. Catch all the stats, by the way, throughout the season on vfl.com.au throughout the week as well. It's great to catch up and see who's winning what.
It's been a very handy tool, and also with the VFL app as well. If you don't have it on your smartphone, I highly recommend downloading it. As Murphy takes the mark and
50.
Gets a 50, as you said, Stoney. Jackson Ross might have just encroached on the mark. He was Murphy's opponent on that occasion, and Nathan Murphy, the youngster for Collingwood, is going to be brought in to well within scoring range. Doesn't kick too many goals, does Nathan Murphy. Has missed most of the season through injury. Made his return a couple of weeks ago. Collingwood with the bye last week. In only his third game, he has absolutely shanked that. No one on the goal line for Collingwood. The Box Hill goalkeeper was Brand. Now Mirror tries to get it away. His kick partially smothered. And out of bounds it goes. Stoney, you're a little bit closer to that than we were. Did it just not come off the boot right?
He wasn't confident in his kicking style. He just really hesitated. Just hasn't kicked many goals and just stubbed his toe on the ground, which obviously ended in a boundary throw-in.
Pick 39 in the 2017 AFL draft was Nathan Murphy. The Pies are excited about his development, but that kick not quite his best effort as the ball comes back into play and inched forward by Box Hill, but eventually goes out of bounds. Still inside forward 50 for the Pies, just on the paint.
Stevenson getting his hands on it. And that little contest, ball tossed back in. Pitnet working the front position. They should be able to clear here, the Hawks. To the non-broadcast side where our camera's positioned is turned over. Oxley will send the Pies back inside 50, but it's going to be turned over again. And they'll be aware of this today. Plenty to play for the Hawks. Mirror's got the outball handball. Miles will work it back. Byrne has to wait for the footy. The boundary line was there. He sees it over, and we will have it tossed in. One behind, plays no score. Collingwood leading. We've played 4 minutes in this opening quarter. If you're watching us through vfl.com.au or the VFL app, or listening to us on SEN2, we welcome you to the Box Hill City Oval today as the ball's near the line again, and it'll be Tyler Brown seeing it over. We'll have it thrown in on centre wing. The grandstand side of this Box Hill City Oval. Bright sunshine, rain expected a little bit later on today. Let's toss back in. Here's Stevenson again, getting hands to it. Shoots the handball out to Dacos near the boundary line. He kicks up towards half forward. Ball beating the initial pack. Falls to Mirror. Now they should be able to get some clearance here. Golds for Box Hill. Still can't get away cleanly. Off to the skipper. He managed to get his handball away to Walker, the high flyer. Now the kick around the body into the middle of the ground. Goldsack picks it up, but there's a free kick, and it will go the way of Collingwood. And Stevenson to take it. Early touch is important. We'll keep an eye on his numbers today. He goes across the ground to Dacos on centre wing. Short ball, Woodward. Just looking to set things up. Called to play on. So this kick, nice high ball inside the 50. It clean bowls the pack. Plenty of numbers though for the Hawks. It's right near the line. Broomhead might have gone high. The umpire says no. We'll throw it up, deep into attack again. Well, not deep into attack, around 50 for Collingwood. They're one behind. Box Hill yet to score. 5.5 minutes gone in this opening quarter. How'd could totally work with VFL Live final round today.
Perhaps a little lucky there, Broomhead, as the Hawks clear D50, but Murphy couldn't quite take the mark. It might be coming back. Good work there by Walker, bullocking his way through. And now the Hawks make their first thrust forward. Ross can gather in space. Got Keane for close company. Keane did well, the Irishman. Did well to strip him, but couldn't quite get his kick away. Had support in the form there of Gallucci. He's able to gather and eventually works into the middle of the ground. Sire grabs it, gives it off to Woodward. Here is Stevenson from outside 50. He can go for home and miss to the left. Electrifying play by Collingwood early on by hand. Through for a minor score. 2 behinds. Box Hill yet to get it inside forward 50.
Yep, as Miles will bring the ball out of the goal square, go for a run. And his kick up the line is a good one. Reeves takes the mark. Stoney, just repeating the breeze today, what's it doing?
So it's a 3 or 4 goal breeze to the left of the dial. That's where the obviously the scoreboard end here at Box Hill City Oval.
Well, it's going to be a turnover again. Collingwood ball. Stevenson's got it on the wing. He kicks up towards 50. Miles comes out to meet it for Box Hill though. And he's got some time and space and he's got some numbers on the camera side of the ground, or the non-grandstand side. They can get something going here. Little chip kick is good. Cousins takes the mark, wants to play on, goes back to Golds, who's going to kick inside the 50. Oh, big clash of players. It falls there. Tardru picks up for Collingwood. Gets the handball across. They just inching it out there, the Pies. Smith getting involved as well. Now Stevenson again. We've got a point to prove today. Ball back, Brown. They've just got to find a clearing kick. The clearing kick goes into the middle of the ground, but the mark's been dropped. As now they pile in on top. It's an opportunity. Hallier picks up for the Pies. Works it to Gallucci. He's 55 from goal. His kick goes across the face. It's bouncing, takes a wicket bounce back towards the goals, but it just pitches inside the boundary line and we'll have it thrown in 10 metres around from the Collingwood goal. They're 2 behinds. Box Hill yet to score. 7.5 gone in the opening quarter.
And they're really defending well, the Box Hill Hawks. They're really getting numbers back behind the footy. And Collingwood need to use this breeze because they need to get a few goals ahead of quarter time. 5
touches for Jaden Stevenson early on. 4 kicks, 1 handball. Equal leading disposal winner on the ground with Braden Sire and also Taylor Miles as the kick is smothered there. Still a chance for Collingwood inside forward 50. Woodward set upon, and it's done so illegally according to the umpire. Almost had his head lopped off there by Mirror.
They decided to put a saddle on him.
Daniel Wells on the ground, boys. Daniel Wells on.
So the third of Collingwood's comeback kids this afternoon. Daniel Wells onto the ground for the first time this afternoon, but all eyes instead on Alex Woodward, having an outstanding season for the Pies. He comes in from the pocket. It looks a little ugly, but it makes its way through the middle. That's all the Pies needed. They're on the board, 1-2-8. Box Hill yet to score, 8.5 minutes in. Box Hill yet to really even attack so far, Stoney.
He's a class player, Stoney, isn't he?
He would have known this ground. I've spent a lot of seasons here at Box Hill, and that goal, even though it wasn't really good off the boot, but went straight for the middle. He has an excellent season, and coming back from his knee reconstructions, he's an excellent VFL player.
Tell you, he Liston Trophy winner, cruel by injury over the years, Alex Woodward, but good resilience to come back. We'll go around the ground shortly. I'll give you an update from VU Whitten Oval. Important game for Footscray as they take on Coburg, but we're back in the middle here, and it is the Pies with the early advantage. And Box Hill haven't really been inside 50. They're getting the ball to ground for Collingwood, but plenty of numbers around for the Hawks. It's pinballing around at half forward for the Pies. No one can get away cleanly, and the umpire will come in and intervene again as Horner gets to his feet for the Hawks, number 62. Tosses the ball back up. Pitnick grabbed it out of the ruck, was immediately dispossessed. Woodward on hands and knees trying to slip the ball out, and they have. Gallucci kicks the ball inside the 50. It's a short ball. Mirror dropped what he should have taken. Vasenavalagi picks up the footy, has a shot at the goal. It's going to bounce and bounce and bounce over the behind line for another behind of the Pies. 139 plays no score. 10 gone in this opening quarter. Hardyak could totally work with VFL Live around the ground shortly.
Ball in the left back pocket for Box Hill. Moving it forward by hand, rather risky. 1-2 with Mirror, goes Taya Miles, and now they've run themselves into a little bit of trouble. Good pressure by Collingwood, but eventually Miles finds the outlet in Will Golds. On the broadcast side, if you're watching us on VFL.com.au, Golds goes for a bit of a dash before popping it over the top to Boucher. Golds kept running, received the handball, then tried to dish it over the top to Cousins, but a little bit too much on it for him, and over the boundary line it goes. Right half forward for Box Hill. They trail at 139. They're yet to score, almost 11 minutes in.
Round the ground, sorry Stoney, 6-12-48, Footscray, Coburg, 7-4-46, 4 minutes into the third quarter there. Stoney?
Just very breezy out there. The breeze is taking the ball to that side of the ground.
Stevenson gets his hands on it at the kick, heading up towards centre wing. Oh, good marking effort there by Brand. Or did he give away the free kick? There was a lot of pushing and shoving going on, and he's adjudged to have given away the free kick. So disappointment there for Brand. And Glover's got it for Collingwood. His kick up the line is good. Just building nicely again. Crocker. His kick over the top. It's short kick sort of stuff. Now there's an outlier. Stevenson outside the boot. It didn't go any measure. It went straight there to Mirror. Mirror's kick is good. He goes over the top to Boucher. Boucher's kick up the line. Was he taken off it?
Downfield.
It is a downfield free kick for Box Hill. And play on is the call from the umpire as they look to work it back into the middle of the ground. Now they stay on what is the outer side from the grandstand as you're looking at it. And it's up towards half forward. Moore, gang tackled. Ball spills free. Woodward taken off the footy. Still got numbers here for the Pies, but they can't get clear. Eventually the handball makes its way out. Woodward gets on the end of it again. Gold sack. They worked the 1-2 and they worked it beautifully too. The ball going back up towards centre wing. Stevenson went for a fly, but Mirror the hands here. Are those are push outs? It is a free kick. It is going the way of Box Hill. It is on centre wing. Stevenson jumped a smidge too early, and so the free kick will go Box Hill's way.
It's Miles who has it. He just goes short to Caden Brand, and he just pops it over the top as well. So Box Hill content to play the slow game at the moment. That's Cousins going short up the line. Unable to gather it there for Box Hill was Dorian, and now the Pies can move it. Classy handball by Wells. He finds Crocker. They're moving it quickly, and they're moving it well. Here comes Marotta, the 23rd man. He's taken down as he disposes of it. Vasenavalagi, he's an excitement machine. Gives it off to Glover. Umpire's given a free kick, and Atu Vasenavalagi was disposed of as he was getting rid of it in the back.
Really? That's interesting, because he did put the don't argue up. as he came through there.
Hey, Pep, that's well called too. What's the surname there?
Besenavalagi, Stoney.
Fantastic, I love it.
It's just taking notes from our old friend Nigel Carmody on the Channel 7 broadcast. If that's what he says, then it must be right, Stoney. As Besenavalagi comes in, the kick looks okay, it's on line. No, not quite. Just across the face of goal. Barely cleared the pack on the goal line, and Collingwood not quite getting value for money with their dominance so far. Just 1-4-10. Box Hill still yet to score. We're almost 14 in.
Just like last night. I just finished writing that down, Stoney. If Nigel says it's right, it's right. As Mira goes for a run, kicks outside. Oh, big fly from Goldsack. Brought it to ground. Brown just paddling it in front. The ball's going to sit clear. Working here is Tardrew in close quarters. Has to put it back out. And that's an excellent kick. They work it across the ground, the Pies. Wilson, the former basketballer, the former Sydney King. Spent some time playing overseas. Played footy as a junior. Was recruited mid-year. So now looking to make his mark for the Collingwood Football Club. He'll be kicking from 55.
That's a good kick.
It's a straight kick. Has it got the trip? No. The pack force it through for a behind. 1-5-11 Collingwood. No score Box Hill. 14 and a half gone in the opening quarter. We'll go around the ground shortly.
Could have found himself at Marvel Stadium this afternoon, Tom Wilson, but instead chose to play footy, and he's acquitted himself quite nicely for Collingwood's VFL team in the latter stages of this season as Mira runs his full measure, sends it long looking for Reeves. Had 3 Pies go up against him in the air. That meant it was all Box Hill at ground level, and now a chance to go forward. But again, Smith getting in the way of that kick, couldn't gather it cleanly. And perhaps luckily for him, he's able to run it over the boundary line. So 1-5 plays, no score, 15 and a half minutes in. Round 21 action, hard yakka, totally workwear, VFL Live. I hope you're enjoying the coverage, whether you're watching us on vfl.com.au or listening via SEN2 as the Box Hill Hawks get a quick kick inside forward 50. A couple of Pies defenders almost collided in midair there, but Murphy able to take the mark. His kick into the centre was a risky one. Crocker kept his feet when his opponent didn't, and that kick just bounced off the chest of Stevenson. Got up quicker than his opponent. Crocker kept running. He can run to 50, go for home, or pass it instead. And Glover made an easy mark. Look harder than it needed to, but he took it anyway.
Could have been in the back then, actually, but yeah, just fortuitous. Yeah.
That's certainly the way to describe it, Stoney, but it was a little bit haphazard, but Collingwood do have a shot at goal, and this one's only about 15 metres out. About a 45-degree angle. He's had a good season, Sam Glover. 11 goals from his 11 games. Angle favours the left foot up, and he makes no mistake. Pies get their second. They're 2-5-17, starting to put a little bit of distance between themselves and the Box Hill Hawks, who are yet to score.
Imagine there might be a bit of interest in Sam Glover come season's end, Stoney.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just watching him bring Crocker go off the ground, walk around the boundary line. As he got pushed in the back there, and he just felt for his leg, his left leg. So just have to watch that one.
Okay, well, he made up a lot of ground. He started at half back and finished inside the 50 in that passage of play. 7-13-55 Footscray. Coburg 7-4-46 at Whitten Oval. Who scored the only goal of the second half so far. The Bulldogs, this ball's back in the middle. We're going to redo this bounce.
Jaden Stevenson up to 9 touches, guys, and Taya Miles alongside him on 9 as well. He's been a ball magnet for the Hawks this year.
Reeves into the ruck for Box Hill, going up against Lynch. Another ruckman could get any clear purchase on it, but Dacos going to sweep over the back here for the Pies. Shows a bit of the footy, then gets the handball back, works with Lynch, gets it back again, does Dacos. The kick inside the 50, in front of Stevenson, has to pick it up half volley style. Now paddling in front of him under pressure. His kick towards the goal line is just missing to the left.
He's done enough now, get him off. He just showing some class, Jaden Stevenson, right there. Just be about conditioning today so he can get through the game for next week.
2-6-18 Collingwood. Box Hill yet to score. It'd be interesting to see how many minutes he actually does play, Stoney, because having Not played any competitive footy for 10 matches.
He looks sharp though. When he's getting to the ball, his speed on the ground, just hopping up in that middle before, just got up before his opponent. Just at this level, looks really sharp.
A player with a point to prove.
Hasn't played since Queen's birthday, so that's a good 2.5 months. And he's certainly been excellent early on as Collingwood intercept on centre wing, and they're going to try and switch. Oxley has it inside defensive 50. Has the easy short option in Dacos. He can get it and go. Needs to watch out. Dorian was coming, and that was a good kick. Senevalagi takes it. Just dishes it off to Woodward, who kicks without any real direction. Bouncing ball. Right forward pocket for the Pies will bounce over the boundary line in front of Wilson.
They're dominating around the ball, Collingwood. They're really getting their hands on the footy. Boxers tried to go inside their 50, but the defence of Collingwood working really well.
If you didn't know, guys, you'd think Collingwood was the team with a lot more on the line this afternoon, playing for a final spot. Box Hill looking a little bit lifeless around the footy. As he said, Stoney, earlier, they're just being beaten at the moment. Now a chance for Dorian. They clear defensive 50, do the Hawks, and now they can move it by hand. They do prefer a kick mark type of game, as you mentioned before, Peter, but the pressure from Collingwood is forcing them into handball, and they've turned it over once again. Senevalagi pulled off his kick. That's holding the footy. Free kick goes Kuchinada's way, the 23rd man for the Hawks.
As he'll go short across the ground. It's a dangerous proposition, but it might work out okay for them as Golds kicks inside the 50. High ball, really their first foray there. Walker kicks it, well, Campbell's across, and now the kick going inside 50, off the pace. It's going to be a free kick here somewhere. It's going to go Pye's way. Boucher, the one climbing over the top. That's as close as they've got to goal in this quarter, in this game so far. And meanwhile, Glover looking to make them pay as they work across half-back. Tadru in short. Oh, the mark is spilt. Now a chance again for Tadru. He's going to go across the ground this time and work it to Murphy, who's got some space on the grandstand side. His kick, looking a bit further afield, finds Oxley on centre wing. Settles things down, looks up. Senevalagi option at half forward. Instead, that's being kept quiet. Murphy got the handball received and now kicks up towards half forward. Lynch flew. Senevalagi, there he is. Back with Lynch. Handball back Dacos. Racking up possessions in this opening quarter. His kick across the ground is a good one. Finds Wells. Wells kicking into the pocket. They've got another Mark Crocker. Back on the ground, and they set that up beautifully, the Pies.
You can't beat experience. Daniel Wells had the ball then, and Crocker was sitting in a pocket, and he knew exactly where to kick the footy, where Crocker ran to get the ball and took the mark. Really well played, Daniel Wells.
So, Crocker with the 11 goals this season out of his 12 games. Chance to really put the foot down. As Michael said, they haven't really capitalised on all the inside 50s that they've had, the Pies. If you're watching us on the video stream, you get a sense of the big crowd that's here today. And Crocker will add to the behind total again. He misses to the left. 2-7-19 Collingwood plays Box Hill, no score. 21 and a half minutes gone in this opening quarter. A reminder again for anyone who's just tuning in, Stoney, of what the breeze is doing today.
So there's a 3 or 4 goal breeze to the left of the dial, the end which Collingwood are kicking now to the scoreboard. It's very breezy and blustery out there.
Brand up the line. Finds a teammate just beyond defensive 50. That's Moore. He pops it over the top. And now Box Hill, they've worked it to an attacking position. Kick comes towards forward 50. Ross one-on-one with Goldsack. The experience of Goldsack to take the front position, but he couldn't complete the deal. Left the door open for Cousins. Sends it inside 50. Well-weighted ball. Smith did well to get a fingernail on it. And the Collingwood defence holding up very nicely. They do win themselves a free kick for holding the ball. Aducci was set upon by Appleby, and now Murphy inside his defensive goal square. Has a couple of short options. Decides to bite off the longer one, and that's dangerous. Dorian's going to send it back in.
Yep, and he goes with a high ball, looking for the top of the goal square. Mark taken. Mulligan McHugh takes it. Line up directly in front. This is the first scoring opportunity, really, that they've had, the Hawks, in this quarter. And it'll just keep him in touch. Nice delivery of the footy. He's in a marking contest, Mulligan McHugh, with Goldsack. Just had that front position nicely. Mullingham-McHugh steps in, kicks the goal. Then on the board, the Hawks. Took them 23 minutes to get on the boards. And the former Bulldog has done just that. His 7th goal for the season in his 10th game. And as per usual, he does the sprint off the ground. 1 straight 6 Box Hill. Collingwood 2-7-19 Stoney. A good contest building up here for all the hard graft that the Collingwood have put in. A goal against the run of play for the Hawks.
I'm going to try and talk to Joe Rivers at quarter time about just the ball they've had and the use of their footy inside their 50. The shots on goal. He's obviously looking at 2-7. 9 shots at goal for only 2 goals. They'll be really ruining that goal. But Box will be really happy they've got a goal with not really much control of the game so far.
Around the ground, 7-14-56. Footscray leading Coburg 7-4-46. Coburg haven't scored since quarter time out there at Whitnoble. They're 17 minutes into the 3rd.
Big game for the Bulldogs and a big game for Box Hill, but it's Collingwood who have come to play early on as Tyler Brown finds the lead of Wilson just outside forward 50. He's about a kick and a half from goal, so what does he do? He just sets it up and hopes for a fly. He gets one. Ball gets to the back, clears the pack, and still a chance off hands, but eventually rushed through by the Box Hill defenders. They're under siege at the moment. Despite kicking a goal, the ball's right back down the other end before you know it. 2-8-20. Plays 1 straight 6, 24 and a half gone opening term.
Greaves doing the running out of the goal square duties. Oh, big fly. Nicely taken. Marotta, the 23rd player for Collingwood today. Nice fly. Takes it between wing and half forward. His kick going inside the 50. Another high fly, but this time it's going back the other way. And Brand takes the mark. His kick, dangerous. Cousins has to wait for it. The handball, dangerous still, because they haven't cleared the 50. They'll do that now. The kick around the body is a good one. Kuchinotta takes sits, kicks up towards centre wing. Coming to run forward is Lachlan Walker. His handball over the top is okay. Now they can get some run going through the skipper more. Just need a couple of overlap runners. One of those is Cousins, but the handball's been smothered. Nice work there by Appleby, making nuisance of himself. Smith picks it up for Collingwood. Can go for a little bit of a run, then goes a little short kick, looking for Wells. It was over his head. He tried desperately to mark it. Now the turnover is on. Mark taken by Lockie Walker again. He looks to go into the middle of the Box Hill City Oval. That's a good kick as well. Finds Cousins. And they've worked it out nicely here. Meadows, every game this season, has an outlier, and now the kick inside the 50 is a good one. Double grab. Is it going to be paid for Ross? It is. On the quarter time siren.
Has it been paid?
It has. That sounded like the siren, Stoney.
It was a siren.
Yep, 25 minutes, but in a short quarter. There haven't been too many stoppages today, and only the 3 goals. So Jackson Ross, 33 goals. He's leading the goal kicking for Box Hill this season.
Hard kick right into the teeth of the breeze.
But an experienced player on this ground. He tries to bring it back. Nope. Misses a lot, actually. Marked by Stevenson. What a quarter he has had. Jaden Stevenson. And at quarter time, it is Collingwood leading 2-8-20 to Box Hill. 1 straight 6. The goal kickers to quarter time. Glover and Woodward for the Pies, and Mullingham-McHugh for Box Hill. Pretty good contest, this one, that's building here at Box Hill City Oval. A reminder, if you're not aware of the situation, Box Hill need to win or draw to play finals this season. It's as simple as that. But for the Pies, it is season done at the end of today. If you're watching on our live stream, you're seeing the first quarter highlights around the grounds. We'll update you the AFL scores because they're into the second quarter up in Sydney. 6-2-38 Sydney, St Kilda 3-6-24, a 14-point lead to Sydney 5 minutes into the second quarter. And down in Tassie, 3 straight 18 Melbourne, North Melbourne 2-2-14, 17 minutes into the first quarter there. And in the other game of Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL that we are following, it is a 10-point ball game. Footscray 8-14-62, the Bulldogs leading the Lions 8-4-52. That match moved from Piranha Park to VU Whitten Oval. Footscray win. They pretty much wrap up second spot on the ladder and get a home final at Whitten Oval next week. We'll take a break. On the other side of the break, Stoney will be inside the Collingwood huddle We'll have plenty of second quarter action for you as well. Stick around. Hard Yakka Totally Workwear, VFL Live.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men. Some are ladies. Yeah. Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work. Totally Workwear.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Sam Hargraves. Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Live on SEN2 DAB+.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Looks to be the last game of the first set. Almagro leading 5-3.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
And it certainly is at Box Hill City Oval, 2-8-20. Collingwood wasteful in front of goal. And they are leading Box Hill 1 straight 6. Peter Picardo, Michael Bepicelli, Mark Stone with you this afternoon. We'll go around the grounds in just a moment. We'll bring you the stats to quarter time too. And Stoney is in the huddle. In fact, let's start off around the grounds because the other game of Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL being played today. It is Footscray 8-15-63 leading Coburg 9-4-58. Things closing up there, heading towards three-quarter time at VU Whitten Oval. Stoney, jump in over the top of us when you're ready. We're going to get hopefully get Jared Rivers, but he's busy chatting to his team. I notice Nathan Buckley out there as well. He did mention that he was going to be coming out and taking a look this afternoon.
Cast of thousands out here.
It is. I imagine there'll be a few Pies AFL listed players around the place too, Stoney.
Yeah, they're all the boys are here. Just, I'll try and break in a minute. He's just talking to one of his coaches here.
Yep.
His board, Jared. G'day, mate. Coach, quarter time, you'll be pretty happy with that. 10 shots a goal, 9 shots a goal, 2 goals, 9. It's just it's a bit better with obviously with the better conversion there.
Yeah, we're on nice kick field goal. 10 overall for the quarter was really good. We won a contested possession by 12, had more inside 50s. So I thought our corridor use going inside the corridor was to use that inside kick to really break the game open. I thought we did that really well. Just missed a few opportunities.
Against the breeze, any message for the boys?
I think we just got to keep using the ball. they're going to have the win this quarter, so ability to try and defend them and be more composed, ball going in hand. So we're just going to see how we go with that.
Thanks, mate.
All good. Beautifully done. Thank you, Mark Stone, there with Jared Rivers. I'll quickly give the AFL scores as well, because we'll get them done and dusted.
Yeah?
Yes, Stoney.
How many touches did Jaden Stevenson in the quarter?
We will get that for you in just a moment, Stoney. Stand by.
That's 10. Thank you, sir.
Around the grounds, it is Sydney 6-2-38, leading St Kilda 3-6-24. A 14-point lead to Sydney, 10 into the second quarter there. Down in Tassie, 3-1-19, Melbourne leading North Melbourne 2-3-15, 22 into the first down in Tassie. Some leading ball winners, Michael, before we get this second quarter underway.
So as we heard, Jaden Stevenson leading the way for the Pies. He has 10, but Taya Miles, the leading disposal winner on the ground, he has 11. And also for the Box Hill Hawks, Will Golds has 9, and Cousins and Mira both have 8 apiece. For the Pies, Woodward also has 8, and Tyler Brown has 7.
All right.
Trying to get people off the ground.
Yeah, I know.
Many people here. It's incredible. Really great crowd.
But it's a great day for footy.
Yeah.
Hawthorn playing over in Perth tonight. Collingwood played last night. You want your taste of footy, you come down here, you can have kick to kick in the breaks, you can listen to the coaches' addresses. It's just a great day out. You can get a sausage from the sausage sizzle going on back here. The canteens well stocked. Gosh, the day, Stoney, where I used to do local footy and put away 7 or 8 dimmies in a session, they were good days.
Not good for the waistline, though, Pierre.
Sadly not.
So the umpire's waiting for the people to obviously escape off the ground, which is important, and the gate to be shut that we can go to.
So, yeah, the gates will be shut. We're going to get this a lot in finals, particularly at Port Melbourne, because there's only a certain amount of gates to get the crowd out. But we're away now in the second quarter. It's Collingwood 2-8-20, Box Hill 1 straight 6.
Nathan Buckley watching on. He'd have to be happy with what he's seen so far from his 3 injured or suspended stars. Coming back this afternoon, there is one of them. Sire lays a strong tackle. That ball not coming out. Ducci, the man wrapped up on that occasion. So Box Hill kicking with the breeze in this second term. Stoney, how's the strength of that breeze? Is it still like it was in the first quarter?
Yeah, still a 3 to 4 goal breeze to the left of the dial, the scoreboard in which Box Hill are kicking to this quarter.
So they're kicking to the southern end of the ground. The Pies will be going against the breeze to the northern end of the ground as Gallucci gets the hands free and handballs it, but
too high. I reckon Box Hill free kick here.
Was higher. Ducci was down for a couple of seconds, but he's up. Tyler Brown, the one who infringed. It'll be a Ducci's ball. The kick is an absolute mongrel off the boot. Wilson did well to palm it down to Woodward off the bounce. Now the Pies work it by hand. Sire back to Woodward, and the big ruckman Lynch spots a man towards the broadcast side, and he finds him, and now Broomhead was quiet in that opening term, has had a good season, but hasn't put his best foot forward so far this afternoon. He just pokes it back for Goldsack at right half back. Content to just play it slowly at the moment. Now trying to affect the switch, the Pies. Tardrew has it. Top of his defensive goal square. Keane was on, but that's been closed up now by Mullinger McHugh. So Keane goes further afield. Stevenson's run a long way, but Appleby just comes in over the top and takes the mark instead, and now Murphy just outside defensive 50.
Yeah, they're sort of working one way then the other, and the link man is Lynch. He got the handball across. Wells just going for a little bit of a gallop. Handball across to Goldsack. They've worked their way from one side of the ground to the other. Dacos. Handball all the way through, and now the kicking inside 50 option. Mirror, he couldn't take the mark. Basenovalagi, they've worked this out, the Pies. It's right near the boundary line. Has it been kept in? No. But is it out in the full is the question. Off the knee of DeWitt's, and it will be thrown in deep into attack for the Pies. Did all the attacking in the opening quarter, and now keeping it going in the second. 2.5 in. 20 plays 6. Ball tossed back in. Roved off the pack here by Woodward. Release the footy just in the nick of time. Handball out. Now a chance for the Hawks as Greaves goes across the ground. Just going to slow it down. Kajitsky takes it. His kick. Good mark taken by Byrne in the end. He had 2 Pies to contend with. Handballs across to Boucher. To the skipper Moore. Moore's kick off a step. was into the path of his teammate Mulligan McHugh, who couldn't pick it up. He fumbled at the crucial moment. The Pies take it away, and they've got an opportunity here. Working through Drew. He's got teammates alongside, but it's like it's a cake of soap out there at the minute. And Appleby should be content to see it over. He is. We will have it thrown in half forward for Box Hill.
You see what Collingwood is trying to do? Trying to control the football with some tempo footy, short kicking, taking possession of the ball. Box Hill can't get the ball off them at the moment, so that's what they need to do. Try to get back in the game.
Three-quarter time of Whitten Oval, 8:15:63. Footscray, Coburg 9:4:58. Close game.
Pitternet clears the stoppage, and that kick actually carried the distance to the goal, but through for a minor score. And that definitely wasn't what he intended, Mark Pitternet, but through it goes. Margin now 13 points Collingwood's way as Goldsack takes his time to bring the ball back into play. Eventually does so. He's got a raking right leg, and he's gotten all of that one. Almost towards centre wing, but all Box Hill off hands. They can work it into the middle of the ground now where Walker takes the mark. That's Lockie Walker. He just pokes a high leftward ball towards forward 50, hoping for the best. Collingwood with the numbers aerially, but again, too many flying on that occasion, and the Hawks able to rove, but kick partially smothered. And now Stevenson doing an inside defensive 50, gets a high kick away under pressure, but Woodward comes in and just settles the situation for Collingwood, sums it up through the traffic, and he can loop it over the top. It was a great handball, Stoney, and now the Pies have got some free movement. Hellier has it just outside the centre square. He can poke it over the top. It's an interesting contest. Umpire,
well done.
Ball play on, but it's been stolen. Tyler Brown with the bounce, wants to give it off. Glover, heel on his left. He can loop it over the top to Wilson instead. They've almost mucked this up, the Pies, but Wilson finishes just. And the Pies get goal number 3 against the Breeze. They're 3-8-26, leading Box Hill 1-1-7. 5 minutes gone, second term.
You can see really Alex Woodward, how he sets the game up and some of his play, just to set his teammates up. Really, really well played, but a really good finish. You're right, they nearly stuffed it up, but got the 6 points, and that's exactly what they needed against the Breeze.
Well, yeah, they. I would say if they. I mean, they're going to stop the count after this week anyway, but he'd have to be favourite for best and fairest, at least for Collingwood. And with the season they've had, which has been a bit topsy-turvy, Liston probably out of the question this season.
You think he finished in the top 10?
Yeah, at least, I would say. He's featuring the best more often than not for Collingwood. He's played the 16 games, that helps as well.
Just under 29 touches a game as well.
So we wait now for Michael Pelt, the field umpire, to bounce it back in the middle. Once, twice, 3 times there for Reeves. Didn't get anywhere near it in the end for Box Hill. It's locked in the circles. We'll have it thrown up again. There's Walker. Lockie Walker just throws it back to the umpire. Do it all again. That's better from Reeves. He managed to get the ball down. It's heading forward for Box Hill. There's Aducci. Picks it up. Works it across. Kilpatrick, the kick inside the 50. Dangerous one. Goldsack first in the race. Pitnet chasing him over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in. To attack here for the Hawks.
All 105 kilos of him, Peter. Probably a tackle you'd want to avoid if you're Tyson Goldsack.
Yep. The ball's tossed back in. Lynch had it all to himself pretty much from the ruck contest. Working there, Oxley was dispossessed. Now an opportunity here for the Hawks. A bit of twisting, turning from Cousins, going all the way to the teeth of goal. Off a step from about 49, and he missed near side. So 3-8-26, plays 1-2-8. We've played 7 minutes in this second quarter. Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL live today at Box Hill.
Here's Goldsack once again. Goes long towards that camera side of the ground. But Box Hill prevail at ground level. Aducci dishes it off. The kick inside 50, though, was tailor-made for Wells. And he takes the mark. Shown his class so far this afternoon has Daniel Wells, as he chips it over the top to Broomhead. Collingwood again, happy to go slow. We've seen it at AFL level as well. It's something they've done many times this year, just taking the sting out of the game and handling the footy. They've done that a lot at VFL level as well. Stevenson offered a long lead into the middle of the ground for Oxley, but that was ignored instead for the safer option in Keane. And now Goldsack on the other side of the ground. Has Appleby the kick? Showed a lot of it to Golds there, but Appleby good enough to take it uncontested. And now this is where the long kick up the line has to come. Box Hill have done a good job of blocking things up, and Max Bailey will be happy with that out of bounds.
They know, Collingwood know if they can control the ball, Box Hill have got to get the ball back off them. So if you can control the game around the ground, then the other side can't get the ball and kick goals. So it's a pretty basic game.
And just repeating too, if you're wondering, number 65 is Mark Keane, not wearing 47 today. So if you're wondering why 65 is suddenly being called Keane, that's why. We've got another stoppage here. Into attack for the Hawks. Need to get some scoring going. Reeves just being held back in the ruck contest for Box Hill. And now Brown just trying to hack the ball out. 1, 2. He's got 3 opportunities here. Across to Stevenson. The little shorty kick is a good one. And they're away again here, the Pies. Chain of handballs. Glover kicking inside the 50. Superb kick! Excellent again by the Pies. It's Crocker who decides to be unselfish, and Oxley's come all the way down the ground, and he will line up and have a shot. They went from one side of the ground to the other, and this is very, very kickable. The kick will come from 30 metres out. Plenty of goal face to look at, as you can see on our live stream, or I'm telling you on SEN2.
Into the breeze too, so he's going to have to just kick through the ball.
Adam Oxley, 3 goals in 10 games heading into this one. Formerly on the AFL list, now on the VFL list. And he misses to the right. 3 goals, 9. 27 Collingwood, 1-2-8 Box Hill. We've played almost 10 minutes in this second quarter. Hard Yakka Totally Workwear, VFL Live.
Mirror just sends it long up the guts. Mullinger McHugh almost took it uncontested in the end, just slipped through his fingertips. Collingwood cavalry comes. Marotta, he's taken down. Good tackle there by Byrne.
First option.
Just didn't give it off on that occasion, Stoney. You're right, as Byrne pops it up towards the hot spot, but good defensive mark taken by Murphy. It's only lightly built, but very courageous in the air is Nathan Murphy, as he sends it wide.
This is Gallucci.
It is, and he looking for Sire in board. Reeves did well to get his massive arm onto that one, and now a chance here for Box Hill. The kick comes, it's long, it's strong, and it's a goal. The man who kicked it was Taya Miles. He's been everywhere this afternoon. Touch number 13 is a goal for him, and a much needed one for Box Hill. They're closing in the margin back to 13.
Yeah, really well played by Miles. Just reads that play well off the halfback and runs down the ground, got a bit of speed, and as he walks that back to position, that was really important. Collingwood controlled the ball for the first 10 minutes of the game, and just a couple of turnovers got that 6 points resultant.
Yep, 13th goal for the season for Taya Miles, and that's the most space, Tony, they've had going forward, Box Hill, I reckon, in the game.
Yeah, the defensive Collingwood's really play well. They've defended really well, got their players back, and Taya Miles just walks through that defence and had a shot on goal.
So back in the middle. Good contest this one at Box Hill City Oval. A free kick going Collingwood's way from the ruck contest. And it will go the way of Tohill, who's into the ruck, across Broomhead, inside 50, and the ball's being turned over. Brand comes out, takes the mark for Box Hill. He'll go right up the middle of the Box Hill City Oval, and Goldsack takes the mark, uncontested. And he goes short, across the ground, finds Woodward. He goes even further. And they're just going to build here. Tardrew, who will continue to go up the line. Basinavalagi takes it on centre wing. He's kicked short. Looks for Woodward. Everything okay there?
He's gone up the race to the rooms, Braden Sire.
Okay, keep an eye on that one. Stoney as Woodward sends Collingwood forward, but it's going to be turned over again. And Miles takes the relieving mark.
This will be number 14 for Taya Miles, having a strong game, having a strong season, really, off half back. And he goes backwards for Brand, and now Kajitsky. Young man in his first season on the Hawthorn AFL list. Jacob Kajitsky Spots DeWitt short, and that's a good strong mark taken in front of Ben Crocker. Has it at right half back. About 60 out from his defensive goal. Moore's led a long way for this footy. Marotta did well to get a hand on it, and now he gathers and is gang tackled. That ball not going anywhere. As Moore hands it back to the umpire, and both sides get their setups going. It'll be the two number 43s in the ruck, Reeves and Tohill. Reeves won it down, but all Collingwood at the fall of the footy. No one can handle it cleanly, though. Here's DeWitt again. Had it stolen by Marotta, who then lays a strong tackle. Wanting high free kick there was Lockie Walker, but none was forthcoming. Still plenty of untidy ball going on in the middle of the ground. Eventually, Oxley able to fan free. Sends it into the path of Stevenson. Has Kajitsky for company. He'll like that matchup at ground level. Gives it off to Broomhead. He's dragged down. Stevenson, snap, left foot, goal! Welcome back, Jaden Stevenson. And Collingwood extend their lead to 19 points.
Great goal. See the ability on the ground. Never lost his feet once. Knew where the ball was going to be. Skillful play on the left foot. Kicked the goal, and that's what you want from a player of that calibre.
4-9-33 Collingwood, Box Hill 2-2-14. And around the grounds at VU Whitten Oval, 9-16-70 Footscray leading Coburg 9-4-58. They're 5 minutes into the final term. Footscray win. They basically wrap up second spot and a home final next week. And so we see a replay on our live stream, video stream of Jaden Stevenson. You'll be loving that. 1 point ball game heading towards half time up in Sydney, by the way. 4 point lead to Melbourne. Early stages, second quarter in Tassie against North Melbourne. Ball back in the middle. Box Hill need a response here. They might get it too. Meadows goes with a high ball inside the 50. Oxley sits underneath and takes a defensive mark for Collingwood. He'll look to go on. His kick is a good one. He's just trying to find some space here in the end, and they've got so many options on that side of the ground. Galucci was one of them. The kick across Marotta. He's looking for options. One of them is Dacos. His kick up towards half forwards, and the mark's been taken defensively by Horner for Box Hill. Short to DeWitt. Kick is good. Now DeWitt looks up, sees Reeves as a short option. Going to ignore that. Will gain about 40 metres of territory. And here's a good mark, Stoney, on that side, Mullingham-McHugh. Oh, went to play on. Didn't realise the pressure was coming. Got the kick away to Cousins. Now, he's too far out to score. He's still inside the centre square. Here's Cousins. He's looking around, sort of shaping to if he's going to take the shot. He's called to play on. So he's just going to go as far as possible. His kick beats the initial pack, bouncing foot into goal. He's kicked it. Well, it cleared the pack and it just kept going. The bounce was favourable and Cousins gets his first for the afternoon. He did back himself in and it happened that way. Wow, what a result there. 4-9-33 Collingwood. Box Hill 3-2-20. We've played 16 minutes in this second quarter, Mark Stone.
It was like a chip at the green. He's like didn't really get onto that ball really well. It just it was sort of up and under type kick and cleared the pack. Players went up and the old coaches say sit right back on the goal square because the balls go over the pack, it's going to be a goal, and that's exactly what happened. And another goal, which obviously went against the trend of play, and Box Hill trying to get back in this game, 20-33 at the moment.
I wish my pitching wedge would deliver the same results, Stoney, but nonetheless, we continue. The margin back to 13 points. He did back himself, did Cousins, and he delivered, as that bounce will get recalled. Alex Woodward up to 15 touches, leading disposal winner on the ground, ahead of Miles, who has 14. And Dacos and Stevenson with 13 apiece for Collingwood. Reeves wins that hit out. Mad scramble ensues at ground level though, taken by Broomhead eventually through the mud pit. Now Dacos, touch 14 for him. Woodward with number 16 back to Dacos. Smith has run a long way off half back. Spots Besenavalagi short, but coming across and taking a good defensive mark is Horner, who gives it off to Golds inboard. He wants to take it through the middle. It's an ambitious kick, and well, the two Box Hill players there just didn't didn't communicate, and that forces the turnover for Collingwood. Wilson has Smith short. Decides to hold it up before giving off the handball to a flat-footed Woodward, and his kick off a step, cut off once again by Horner.
Yeah, exactly. Same sort of setup play. DeWitt's in the defensive goal square. He takes the mark, goes even shorter to Miles, who will go off a step and find Kilpatrick. At half-back, they continue to work the, well, outer side, the non-grandstand side of the ground, is working his way through his Boucher. He's been good today. He's kick up towards half-forward. That's a solid mark. Nicely taken by Cousins.
Starting to get a bit of a football.
And he wants to take off as well, Stoney. Oh, he was dacked. Managed to have someone alongside Mulligan McHugh, who goes with the ball up towards centre half forward. Bouncing footy, no one could take it. Here's Miles again, got the handball before he was dispossessed. Plenty of numbers though for the Pies. Crocker brought down the tackle, handball out. Chance here again, if they could just be clean. Meadows picking it up for Box Hill. It's hard and tough footy at the moment, a lot of pressure going on. Box Hill still with possession. The kick up towards the 50. No one could take the mark. Broomhead forced to lay the tackle. Wells is there. They've got the numbers, the Pies. A little dribbling footy outside the 50 is okay. They should make it pay. Toehill gets the handball across. Oh, didn't quite meet its intended target of Dacos. He'd almost be leading the possession on the ground at the moment. Michael, will get you to tell me those in a moment. They're inside defensive 50 here, Collingwood, and the switch is on. Smith takes the mark, defensive goal square. He's got Crocker as the next option, and that's okay. He takes the mark, looks up. Those possessions for Dacos, please.
Up to 16, one behind Woodward.
He's just racking him up across half back today. Kick up the line. Wilson getting hands to it, but couldn't complete the mark. It goes over the boundary line. We will have it thrown in.
Box Hill starting to get a bit of the football now. They're starting to get position around the packs and control the footy a bit more.
Will that Dacking make it into the top 5 plays of the week? On VFL.com.au?
Let's hope not. It means we've had a pretty bleak week. If that's the case, as Brown tried to work his way through the traffic, but couldn't break free of the Moore tackle. So we'll get a secondary stoppage.
Looks like Footscray's going to win against Coburg at the Whitnoble, 10-19-79 to 9-4-58, 11 into the last.
Not an unexpected result as the Bulldogs charge their way into finals at both levels, really, AFL and VFL. The Footscray Bulldogs have had an outstanding season as we get another stoppage here. Greaves, the man who had his run impeded. Neither ruckman got a hand to that one, so Moore just said, I'll clear it myself. Only problem is his kick was smothered. Ricochet to Brown. Hellier taken high. Gives it off to Woodward. He might not have been expecting it, but did well to find Wilson. And now they've got numbers on the outer side. One of those is Dacos. He's just racking them up for fun at the moment. He sends a searing ball inside forward 50 looking for Wells, but it's cut off and the Box Hill Hawks can move through Miles.
Miles again. He's had plenty of disposal as well. Finds Matthew Walker. The kick across the ground is a good one. And player all in space is Kuchinota. He kicks inside the forward pocket. And the mark not able to be taken under pressure by Ross. It goes over the line. We will have it thrown in deep into attack for Box Hill. 33 plays 20. Miles, how many is he up to today? Michael, please.
He's up to 16 and a goal.
Yep, he's been prolific for Box Hill. Half time, we're going to feature an interview with Aaron Heppel, the skipper of the Bombers. Big game coming up tomorrow. Just to build some confidence against Geelong. We've got another stoppage here, Stacks on. The umpire will throw the ball up inside attacking 50 for Box Hill. They'd love another goal here. Short first quarter. Only had 2 goals for Box Hill and 2 for Collingwood. So, been too many stoppages. There's a quick kick out of the pack here. It's through for a behind. Can't quite see who grabbed that one as the ball came down. But it is through for a behind for Box Hill. 3-3-21, plays 4-9-33. The kick out is okay. Gallucci takes the mark for Collingwood, still inside defensive 50.
A long way from his customary home. Finds Tardrew on the flank, and now the Pies want to move it by hand. It's risky, it's ambitious. Woodward needs to be good. He's met solidly by Greaves. Got his handball away, but a chance for Box Hill to affect the turnover.
Oh.
They weren't quite able to do so.
Do you see that, Stoney? Will Gold's just kicking out at Smith.
Yeah, you'll be careful about that some stuff, boys.
Wasn't too happy about it either with Smith, and He's got every reason not to be, as Cousins left it for DeWitt. He was set upon by Hellier and Marotta. Perhaps a business decision there by Cousins.
That's why he left it.
That's what they like to call it in the NFL, and I think we might just have seen one of those here at Box Hill City Oval. The kick of Moore was partially smothered, but ricocheted to a teammate who cleared instead. Now Oxley dishes it off to Wells, who needs to be quick. He wasn't quick enough. His kick was affected. Eventually taken by Walker. Has Ross running back towards goal. He left it for his teammate. Another business decision, but this one results in...
Throw.
Oh, he threw it.
No. How about that? The throw not under any real pressure, and Box Hill has lost itself a certain goal. As Ross was running into the open goal, that would have drawn it to within a kick. Instead, the margin remains 2 goals and Collingwood out of danger.
Oh, I'm hoping this ball goes over the line, because I'll be interested to see the replay on that. It's right near the boundary line. Box Hill still with possession, still with an opportunity. As the ball coming in Golds, going the distance all the way to the top of the goal square. It beats the initial pack and through for one behind. So 21 plays 33.
Might be one of the most bizarre things we've seen on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live all season, guys.
So on our video stream, we're seeing another view of it. Dorian is the player. Oh, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
So Oxley kicks it in. He finds a teammate, and now the Pies have cleared D50. We might get another look at that one later on if we get an opportunity. Broomhead paddling it along and taken out of bounds. No, not quite. Gets the handball away. Still going here is Broomhead, eventually ends up with it again and gives it off to Marotta. He can get it and go. His kick, though, partially smothered, could have gone the handball out wide instead. Marotta does well, the 23rd man, to try and butter up, but the stoppage is forced.
So we'll see it again if you're watching our video stream. Oh, did you get a fist to that?
Umpire was right there.
Yeah, I know. The umpire was in the best position. We were miles away.
I have to admit, it didn't look like a handball from where I'm sitting, but again, it wasn't a great view of it. Umpire a lot closer as Tardrew sends it up towards half forward, but no one's outreaching Mark Pitternet in that situation. Well, the only man who might have a chance is his teammate Ned Reeves, but he wasn't there, and Pitternet took the mark. Moore under all sorts of trouble. He's taken down, just took way too long to get rid of it.
His initial thought was to handball out, but there was no one alongside him in the boundary line.
Collingwood free kick. Dacos, risky kick, comes off a Broomhead. Spots a man just outside the centre circles. It's his lookalike Smith. And now Collingwood through Appleby can affect the switch. Stevenson has a lot of space and takes the mark. Goes inboard, and that's okay for Hellier. Dishes it off immediately to Appleby. This is a rare moment for Flynn. And it's a behind. He just misses. 4-10-34 now the Pies, leading Box Hill 3-4-22. It's a two-kick game in the shadows of half-time.
Someone's car alarm going off as Miles will just stroll outside his defensive goal square and kick right into the middle of the ground. It's off hands, but it's going to be picked up. Goal. It's all written into the turf. Holding the footy, the result. Good tackle, Oxley. And Stevenson as well. Stevenson takes a free kick. Gallucci picked it up. Handball across. Broomhead. He's spearing ball inside the 50. No free kicks at the umpire. Cousins picked up here for Box Hill. They've got a chance just to settle a one-on-one contest on centre wing. Nice transfer of the ball. Dorian did well to just track it, just get his opponent out of the way. He sold Cousins into all sorts of trouble. The handball inboard is just as bad. Now picked up here by Broomhead. Broomhead's handball to Wells. It's been partially smothered. The handball off to Walker. This is Matt Walker, just outside the 50. The kick inside is okay. Round one. Aducci couldn't get a round two. And it's a turnover to the Pies inside defensive 50.
Stevenson again. He's lifted as he sends it short to Oxley, still inside defensive 50. As the siren sounds for half-time, there's a Collingwood player, I think it might be Glover, just limping. Well, he was making his way to the bench. So perhaps another injury concern for Stoney to look at half-time, with Raiden Sire down into the race and also Glover. But at half-time at Box Hill City Oval, it's been a positive half so far for the Magpies. They're 4-10-34, leading Box Hill, which has a final spot on the line. They're playing for their season, the Hawks. They're 3-4-22. That was another short quarter, Peter.
Yeah, 27 minutes, that one. But, yeah, we'll add that behind to the Collingwood total, 4-10-34, to get everything in the book. The goal kickers to half-time. And for the Pie, Singles, Stevenson, Wilson, Woodward and Glover. And for Box Hill, Miles, Cousins and Mulligan McHugh are the goal kickers to half-time. 34 plays 22. And it is a handy advantage. Box Hill making some sort of inroads along the way here, but 14 points at quarter time was the lead for the Pies. Now 11 points at half-time. Around the grounds, let's update you on what's happening there. They're almost into time on down at VU Whitten Oval. 11:20, 86 Footscray, leading Coburg 10-4-64. And as I said, they're just into the 20-minute mark of that game over VU Whitten Oval. So it looks like Footscray will get second spot on the ladder. At half-time up in Sydney, scores level between Sydney and St Kilda. 6-3-39 the Swans. St Kilda 5-9-39. And down in Tassie, 16 minutes gone in the second quarter there. It's North Melbourne 5-4-34, leading Melbourne 4-4-28. With the twilight game being down in Geelong and Carlton a little bit later on. But on our video stream, you're seeing highlights of the second quarter. We're going to take a break on SEN2. On the other side of the break, we'll be going back to the VFL hour on 11:16 SEN. You can hear that every Tuesday night. We'll catch up with the skipper of the Bombers, Aaron Heppel, coming up next on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Yeah. Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
Totally Workwear. For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka, Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Sam Hargraves. Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. on 11:16 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL, live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
There you go.
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
Half time here at Box Hill City Oval, 3-4-22 Box Hill. Collingwood leading 4-10-34. Box Hill need to win or draw to play finals this season. And this is the last game of the season for the Pies. Around the grounds, 24 minutes gone, final quarter at Whitten Oval. 12-20-92, Footscray leading Coburg 10-5-65. So Footscray will pretty much seal second spot and the double chance, and of course, well, they already had the double chance, but a home final next week against Williamstown. It looks like we'll give you what the equation looks like for Williamstown, just for the hell of it, a little bit later on, but it will be astronomical considering the percentage gap that needs to be made up there. SEN's VFL Hour is Tuesday night from 9 o'clock with Sam Hargraves and Anthony Stangetz. This week, the feature Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL interview was with the skipper of Essendon's VFL team, Aaron Heppel. Big game coming up down the highway at GMHBA Stadium tomorrow. It is the TV game coming away on Channel 7 from 11:30 tomorrow. Big game for the Cats to see where they finish and who they play in the finals next week. And for Essendon, they can't move out of fourth spot, but they do want that confidence builder. But Aaron Heppel caught up with Anthony Stangetz and Sam Hargraves last week.
Get involved in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Visit vfl.com.au.
Welcome back to the VFL Hour. Anthony Stangetz is in again, recapping and previewing and reviewing what was a fantastic round of VFL last week and what looks to be a cracking final round of the VFL season. Been a big day for Essendon, as we just pointed out before. David Myers has announced his retirement in a really heartfelt email to Essendon members. A man that knows him well is the captain of Essendon's VFL side, Aaron Heppel, 84 VFL games, and as I said, the skipper of the Dons VFL outfit. He's been good enough to join us on the VFL Hour, Sporting Capital style. G'day, Aaron.
G'day there, Sam. How's it going, mate?
I'm well. Mate, we just heard and read the letter out that David Myers has sent out to all Essendon club members before we get into your game on the weekend and the finals campaign ahead. He's been a tremendous servant to Essendon. He's often been cruelled by injuries. We probably never really got to see him at his very best. But what kind of mark do you think he's left on Essendon, not only just at an AFL point of view, but from a VFL point of view as well?
Yeah, Myers, he's one of the great men of football. He's always been a great character around the club, and I guess particularly over this year, when I've spent a bit more time with him, he's come back to the VFL with a great attitude and been a real leader, especially bringing them young guys up, young AFL guys. He's been a really good fellow to play with and have around the club.
Aaron, he's been pretty handy in the midfield at VFL level over the last month, averaging over 30 disposals a game.
Yes, he's a very nice inclusion to our VFL side. I'm more than happy to have him for the rest of the season. He's he's a proven AFL player, so coming back to VFL level, he fairly dominates.
Aaron, tell us about changes to your role on field this year. Obviously, earning the captaincy, but also a bit of a changing on-field role as well.
Yeah. I mean, the captain's been a great opportunity for me to develop my leadership over the last little bit. Obviously, some great leaders alongside me, like Mizey and guys like Danny Noonan and Heath Hocking on the VFL list. So I've really been able to leverage off those guys through the captaincy position. But also getting a good run through the midfield this year. So really relishing that opportunity, and again bouncing off those experienced players to keep developing my craft and keep developing my footy.
And that's probably been one of the keys for the Bombers at VFL level, is having that mix of not only AFL experience, but having someone like Heath Hocking that captained the club last year, staying on with the club this year in a playing role in the leadership group. But he's been in some pretty good form as well.
Yeah, big time. And it's sometimes harder to VFL list to try and maintain that experience, especially with an aligned club. There seems to be pretty high turnover. we have a very young list. So holding on to guys like Heath Hocking and Danny Noonan is really important. As you said, Buddha Heath, he's had a cracking season so far. So I think he's 32 years old and he's still playing like he's 22. So I'd love to see him go around another year next year, but I guess he'll decide what he does there.
Regardless of how you go this week, Aaron, you'll finish fourth on the ladder. You played Richmond on the weekend, who beat you by 12 points. You got a real good look at them, and in a couple of weeks' time, you'll take them on in a final. What did you learn coming out of that match, and that you can take into finals?
I guess probably just the belief that we can match it with any side. Richmond are obviously a really good outfit. They've proven it throughout the year. And I guess coming out of that Footscray game where we didn't play our best footy, and then coming into the weekend game where we really pushed Richmond, I think we can just take our best footy is good enough to run with any side. So I guess we just go through our typical week of opposition analysis and find out what they do, and try and bring it on that first final in 2 weeks' time.
Aaron, the tools department's taken a big hit at Essendon this year, but it must be really good to see a mid-season inclusion to the side in Riley Bowman really finding his feet at VFL level. 42 hit-outs, his best output for the season, but he's been a handy mid-season inclusion.
Yeah, big time. I mean, obviously pretty flattening when big Sam Draper went down at the start of the season, but to have someone like Bowie come in as a 19-year-old, still playing TAC Cup footy, or NAB League footy, I should say, and then to come in and play against men and play against some really, proven AFL ruckmen as a young fella, it's great to see. So I'd love to see him get opportunity at the AFL level in the near future.
Speaking to Aaron Heppel, the Essendon VFL skipper on the VFL Hour, you can get involved in the hard yakka, Totally Workwear VFL. Visit vfl.com.au. Aaron, we all know that injuries have played a really difficult part of the Essendon season this year. What effect has it had on you guys at VFL level, having a constant sort of stream of players coming in and out and back and forth? Is it you've still been able to win games, but have you found it difficult to just get some consistency when there's been so many changes going on due to the injuries at the AFL list level?
Yeah, it is a bit like that, hard to get that consistency. But I guess the good thing with injuries is it allows the young AFL players to get AFL experience and then come back and be better footballers when they play VFL. And also gives young VFL-listed blokes who are on the VFL list to get VFL games and get familiar with our game plan and playing with and against AFL-listed players. So I think, it can be a bit detrimental with consistency, but it gives everyone opportunities to play at a higher level of footy, and overall that, that benefits us later on in the season.
Probably more changes for you this week. David Zaharakis looking like he might be out with an ankle injury, but Tom Bell-Chambers could play, whether he goes straight back into AFL level or for you guys at VFL. Gutsy just mentioned the tall situation. Tommy Bell-Chambers would be a nice addition.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind roaming around the guts with Tommy Bell-Chambers hitting it down my throat, but I guess that's for the AFL coaches to play out what goes on there. And I mean, I'd love being on a match committee saying, I'll take him to VFL, but unfortunately, I have no say on that.
Aaron, we talk about some of the young players at VFL level, and one that's impressed over the last month, Tynan Smith, 4 games, 7 goals, and showing a bit the Greensboro local.
Yeah, big Tyno. He's a bit of a beast. If you've seen him, he's a quite
Massive.
Solid fella. Likes to take a good jerk, but apparently he's been dominating local footy down at Greensy, and it's great to see him come in. Another young fella. Just taking his opportunity with 2 hands, and he's probably solidified his spot in a final series now. So it's great to see young fellas like that coming up and showing what they have to offer.
Aaron, you're a Leongatha boy, and I know Leongatha a little bit because my old man lived down there in some of his younger days and went to school down there for a while. I've got rallies down there too, so I know the area quite well. Yeah. Jared Roughhead has just retired, played his final game, and now you and your brother Dyson are obviously pretty big deals down there, but I'm assuming that Ruffy, is he just the biggest deal that's ever come out of Leongatha, and how long until there's a statue at that main roundabout there, would you think?
Yeah, well, the statue out the front of the Memorial Hall in Leongatha got knocked over by a car about a month ago, so I reckon I can get rid of that one and re-erect a Ruffy right in front of the town hall. No, Ruffy's he's a man. Everyone loves him down in Leongatha. They're a proud family down in Leongatha, so definitely a well-known figure and a well-known family around the town.
And Aaron, we all like electricity come finals time and some of the big moments, and I reckon Jordan Houlihan, he's got a couple ready for us. He's taken some big grabs this year. What do you think of the one on the weekend?
He does it every week. He pops up and sits on someone's shoulders. So I'm pretty happy I'm not playing down back when he's floating around because I'll be protecting my shoulders, that's for sure. But no, he's a very exciting player, Hoolers. So just kick it in high and he'll do something with it most of the time.
Aaron, we like it when teammates get engaged and get involved when we're interviewing someone from their team. And we have a question here from one of your teammates. They'd just like to know, have you ever got your skin folds under 70?
Who stitched me up there? And the answer is no. I swear I've done everything. I mean, I probably could have changed a few less beers, but I promise I've done everything I can to try and get my skinnies down, and I have failed to. I average about an 85, but whoever sent that in has absolutely stitched me up, so thanks for that.
Well, have you considered, the paleo, like a keto?
Maybe I need to. Yeah, I might need it. A keto diet. Jeez. Oh no.
Would you like me to tell you who it was?
Who was it?
It actually wasn't one of your teammates. It's a mate of yours who plays at Werribee. Would you have any idea who it'd be?
It wasn't the Al-Mufad Al-Markley, was it?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
There he is. Al-Mufad gives the worst haircuts in Melbourne.
There we go. I like that. That's some nice stretch here. That's some nice sledging just to take us into the break. Hey, Aaron, really appreciate you coming on, mate. Aaron Heppel, the Essendon VFL skipper. Finals just around the corner. You've got to get through the game this week. You've got Geelong down at GMHBA Stadium, and then it's into finals footy coming up against Richmond again, who sit top of the ladder, 1v4. You must be licking your lips. Thanks for giving us some time on the VFL Hour.
Beautiful. No worries. Thanks for that, mate.
And there you go. That is Aaron Heppel looking forward to finals, but he's got a game against Geelong tomorrow. It is half-time here, 4:10:34 Collingwood, Box Hill 3-4-22. Second half next on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men. Some are ladies. Yeah. Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality. Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work. Totally Workwear.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coaches' huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
I'm a digital radio.
And I'm a digital TV. Now, you may remember when TV went digital.
Yes, and you got a lot more channels and a better picture.
Well, buying a digital radio is the same.
Exactly. I've got up to 30 extra radio stations, plus all your old faves, and I sound amazing.
Yeah, but I look amazing.
Yeah, but this is a radio ad, so no one can see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you want to hear this station like you have never heard it before,
buy a digital radio.
Head into your nearest retailer and upgrade to digital.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's, don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Sam Hargraves. Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. on 11:16 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL, live on SEN2 DAB+.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Looks to be the last game of the first set. Almagro leading 5-3.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
And we are away in the second half. It's a lead to Collingwood. Box Hill needing to win to play finals.
And they win the first clearance. They're trailing Collingwood by 12 points. Dorian takes the mark, kicking against the breeze in this third term. We'll get Stoney to update us on that breeze when we get a moment as Keane intercepts Dorian's kick inside defensive 50. Spots Stevenson short, and that's where he goes. 16 touches in the first half for Jaden Stevenson. 1 goal, 2 to go along with that as he pokes a short to Wilson. Stoney, have we got you down there?
Yeah, there, boys.
What's the breeze doing?
Yeah, still a 3-goal breeze to the end with Collingwood kicking this third quarter. It has dropped away, but it's been still very swirly. But Collingwood are down to 3 on the bench. They've got 2 players not returning after half-time. Sierra, I think we've seen young Glover cop an injury just before half-time.
So bad news for the Magpies. Sire, of course, one of those returning AFL stars, but his day cut short and they've turned it over as well. And Box Hill able to work it around forward 50. Jack Ross takes the mark at about 55. Called to move it on. Didn't think about the shot, just set it up, and that was poorly communicated. Keane in best position, and he starts his second half off with a couple of intercept marks. Just feeds it short to Appleby and now Murphy. And I feel like deja vu because Wilson's taken the mark on the lead at right half back. Collingwood taking it very slowly at the moment. Chipping ball from Wilson finds Stevenson. Still at right half back, the Pies. That'll be touch 18 for the number 1 for Collingwood. And it's a short kick back to Broomhead, and now Keane once again. Massive crowd here at Box Hill City Oval. They're getting a little bit restless. Tadru's kick is a little more attacking on this occasion. Runs Appleby into a lot of trouble. Moore lays the tackle on him, and we get a stoppage on the pain of 50 for Box Hill.
Just to update you around the grounds, the Bulldogs did win that game comfortably in the end. 13-23, 101 at Whitten Oval against Coburg. 10-6-66. They've wrapped up second spot. I think based on my sort of the fingers and toes to calculate it all, about a 300-odd point win Williamstown would need to have against Werribee tonight. As this ball comes in short, this is a good start for Box Hill.
So you're saying there's a chance, Peter?
No hope. No hope.
Matthew Walker will have the shot at goal here. No hope there, I wouldn't have thought. That match at Downer Oval in Williamstown tonight. So it looks like pretty much Footscray will wrap up second spot, and there'll be a home final at Whitten Oval against Williamstown. The other qualifying final, Richmond and Essendon. Walker has missed. So Matt Walker, high flyer, 23 goals this season, none today. 34 plays, 23 I should say. We've played 3 minutes in this third quarter as the Pies through Goldsack on defensive 50. Kick up the line to Witt. Oh, he spoiled his teammate in Mirror. You don't do that because Mirror had the league high in marks last week. Now tackling pressure, excellent from the Pies. Besenevalagi did some good work there. It spills free. Mirror in there again, and the umpire will throw it in.
Young Kaczynski just come off the ground. He got whacked to the head, and it's just on his haunches at the moment. Oh, he's in trouble. He's in a bit of trouble, young Kaczynski.
So that's a disappointing, perhaps, end to the season for Jacob Kaczynski. Hopefully it's not too serious and he can get back out there as Moore has his kick partially smothered. Goldsack met solidly there by Meadows. Ball in amongst a pack of players. It does spill out. Golds sweeps it over the top looking for Kuchinota, but coming across the intercept was Appleby, and then Moore sets upon him and he had no chance of breaking free.
I wonder if the lack of rotations on the Collingwood list or the Collingwood interchange at the moment would tell in the second half. What's that with notice?
Injuries have been a big theme of the season for Collingwood at both levels, AFL and VFL. As Tyler Brown wraps up his opponent over the boundary line. That was Cousins. So we'll get a boundary throw in, true centre wing position. Almost 5 minutes gone, third term. It's an 11-point ball game. Collingwood 4-10-34, leading Box Hill 3-5-23, but the Hawks are pressing early. Cousins clears and finds Boucher on the chest. He wants to move quickly. Spots up Dorian between wing and half forward. And another short ball is okay.
Another player down here, Stoney, just in front of us. Is it Boucher? I think it is
Boucher. As the Hawks go inside forward, 50. Mark at the back, not quite taken by Mullinger McHugh. A chance for Aducci, couldn't quite track it. They're making a meal of this Box Hill. Collingwood defenders under all sorts of pressure. Smith, Dacos laying the tackle now. And we'll get a ball up. About 20 out from the Box Hill goal.
Back here in front of our commentary position though, Stoney. Boucher's still on his haunches, slowly getting to his feet. Oh, yes, Peter, he is. Thank you for that, Stoney. Great reporting as always as the Pies look to clear from the last line of defence. Murphy just throws it on the boot. It goes to an on-grandstand side. It's going to come straight back in again. Miles gets on the end of a chain of handballs. He's quick across the ground, finds Mirror, who goes short. Here is that man, Boucher, who gets around the would-be tackler and around another one. Got the ball off. It's a dribbling ball heading towards the top of the goal square. Plenty of numbers here for the Hawks, but again, they're mucking around with it. It falls to Dorian. He's hemmed in on the boundary line. Turnover. Picked up by Oxley, who goes with a torp. Long ball up towards centre wing. Mirror playing the quarterback role, though. He steadies for Box Hill. Pushes the ball back. DeWitt. Oh, he had the kick smothered. Coming through, Croc, who had his handball smothered. Looking for Besenavalagi. Besenavalagi got his hands to it. Handball back intended for Crocker. It goes over the boundary line. That won't be on name again.
Sorry, Pete, I was looking at Boucher push the trainer away just as he got off his haunches there, and I was watching what was happening with that, and sorry I didn't pick up that commentary.
No, that's okay, Stoney. I had it covered, mate. No worries.
He saw the ball was on offer, Boucher, and just decided he was better again as Cousins tracks this one almost over the boundary line, and eventually it does go over.
For those listening to us through SEN2, overcast conditions now, Stoney, here at Box Hill City Oval.
It is. I thought a couple of spots of rain before, Pete, and we started off very nice in the first half, blue skies, but now a bit overcast.
Melbourne winter coming into full effect as we approach springtime.
Don't say that, I'll have to go away again.
Best time of year in Melbourne is not too far away as Dacos takes the handball from Murphy. Kick up the line looking for Toehill was a good one. Just slipped through his fingertips, and his co-captain Hellier tried to mop up, but he was taken over. And out of play. 4-10-34 the Pies. They've been wasteful this afternoon. 14 scoring shots to 8 as we approach 8 minutes travelled in this third term. Box Hill still in it. They have it all on the line this afternoon. Their premiership defence currently hanging by a thread as Collingwood go forward once again. Woodward, Drew Hellier, was he pushed in the back? No, says the umpire, and the Pies have given away a free kick for a high tackle. Taya Miles has had plenty of it. This will be disposal 21, and he'll take the free.
Yeah, we might get a summary of how the disposals are going for these players. We missed that because of the quick turnaround here, but DeWitt looking to go short. Ball turned over. Besenavalagi got in the way. He goes with a shorter ball. Picked up here nicely by Toehill, who has a flying shot at the goal and misses to the left-hand side. It's another behind here for Collingwood. Just continue to press. 4-11-35 Collingwood. Box Hill 3-5-23. Remembering a draw will be enough for Box Hill to get into the finals as well, as Mirror takes another mark. As I said, led the league last week. 11 marks for the Hawks as the kick going up, heading up towards centre wing. It's going to drop a little bit short, but it's a nice mark taken by Pitnet, who looks up on the outer side as we see it in our commentary position. He's kicking to a rather congested centre wing area, and the ball drops short, and the mark's being taken by Keane. Wearing the 65 today. His kick partially smothered, and now a chance for the Hawks as the kick going up towards the 50. It's going to be turned over. Murphy takes the mark for Collingwood. We'll get the next stoppage and we'll get Michael to give us some of these stats, because the Pies now are looking to just rebound outside defensive 50. Dacos has it in his hands. He'll be up there. I'm sure Michael will be mentioning his name shortly. Appleby in the defensive goal square for Collingwood. Looks one way, looks the other. Again, Dacos provides a short option.
Go the barrel.
Well, he's not. He's going the absolute shortest kick possible, the complete opposite to Murphy. Still in the back pocket for Collingwood. His kick going outside the 50. Through the hands there of Oxley, it falls to the back. Another opportunity for Box Hill, but it's only temporary. Oxley did really well. Handballed it out. Tardrew goes for a run along centre wing, and then a high looping handball. He found his teammate there in Wilson. Trying to put it back into the middle of the ground was dangerous. Now pack forms, Mirror at the bottom of it, and the umpire will throw it up. Finally, you can get your stats out.
Dacos leads all comers with 26, boys. He's been dominant this afternoon. Woodward with 21 and Stevenson with 18 for the Pies, and for Box Hill, Taya Miles with 21 leads James Cousins with 17. As Collingwood go forward, Oxley on the end of this handball chain. He can go for home from the centre square. He can go all the way. Big goal for Adam Oxley, and that extends the Collingwood lead to 18 points. 5-11-41. Plays 3-5-23. We've just ticked over 10 minutes gone, third term.
That just showed you how the breeze is here at Box Hill City Oval. That went about 65, 70 metres. And Adam Oxley, who's been trying to threaten to do that all day and put one right through the middle, and 6 points. Important goal as you see Daniel Wells come on the ground for Alex Woodward.
So Brayton Sy was the other one, injury concern heading into half-time. Has he reappeared?
No, so both Glover and Sy are off the ground at the moment. Won't reappear in the second half. Both got knocks to the head, I believe.
Maybe we might see Phil in after all. As ball back in the middle. Scores level, by the way, down in Tassie between the Kangaroos and Melbourne. 34 apiece at half-time. 69 plays 48. Sydney leading St Kilda in the third quarter as Moore picked it up out of the right contest, just ragdolled out of it by Brown. Did well to pick up the footy himself. First time and the second time. Ball spills free. Broomhead picks it up. Pies looking to press. The handball out to Smith. Smith's kick up towards Bacena Valagu. Takes the mark at half forward.
Got a little bit of ability, this boy. I like him a lot.
He's on 50 and he's going to go short to the pocket. It's going to be turned over. Tohill was coming forward, but Mirror takes the relieving mark. Box Hill looking to reset. Overcast conditions. Wouldn't be surprised if the lights come on here, Stoney, at some stage. As kick going outside 50 is a good one. Pitnet takes the mark. As he looks up, assesses his options. Half back. Now, camera side. Kicks up towards centre wing. No one can take the mark, and Oxley trying to pick it up, but half-heartedly because the boundary line was right there. We will have it thrown in true centre wing position. 41 plays 23. Collingwood leading Box Hill. Earlier today, a win for Footscray over Coburg, pretty much wrapping up second spot. Unless Williamstown thrashed Werribee tonight. But that won't happen, Stoney, will it?
No, not at all.
Not by the required 300 points.
Might be a bit breezy out at Dan Oval.
As Peter has calculated for us, it probably will be windy, Stoney, there. It's windy at the best of times, and it'll be very windy tonight, you'd think, as Goldsack tries to affect the switch for Collingwood. Here is Dacos having a prolific day. Tried to find Wells. Couldn't quite do so with the handball, so just decided he'd go get himself another stat. And now the kick comes towards Wilson on centre wing. He got rid of his opponent. If the ball stays in, he can go, but it doesn't oblige, and it rolls over in front of him. Daniel Wells, the other man we're watching very closely this afternoon. He's got 10 touches. He had 10 in that first half, playing a little bit more limited game time than Jaden Stevenson. So he might only feature for a little bit longer. He might be on a minute's restriction. We'll wait and see, of course. But he's looking to put his best foot forward for Collingwood's AFL Finals campaign. As we get another stoppage, more on the bottom of the pack with Broomhead. 14 minutes gone. It's Collingwood by 18 points. 5-11 plays 3-5. Taken down. Here is Boucher by Oxley. In fact, it was a Ducci. And we get another stoppage. Crowd getting a little bit restless here at Box Hill City Oval. It is a big one. One of the biggest we've seen all years. The ball eventually does break free from the congestion. Cousins tried to find Mullinger McHugh, who almost took a clever mark with one hand. Couldn't quite haul it in, and now he's got a problem at ground level. Smith there for Collingwood. And eventually it's shoveled out to Woodward. Not sure if that was legal. Dacos did well to get low and get the footy, and he beat Matt Walker to it. It'll be his ball.
The Pies have been really good around the ball today. They've really been first in, and you'll probably see some statistics show their smaller men have got their hands on the ball first. That's why they're in lead at the moment.
282 points to be precise, Williamstown would need to win by tonight. So the kick from Dacos, well, that took off with the breeze. Again, beating the initial pack, but Brand was there to take the mark. Half back on the grandstand side, twisting, turning. They look to get clear here. Gold's got the handball out, but it's been turned over. Lynch getting in the way. Now a chance for Brown, close quarters, crucial fumble in the middle of all of that, but it's been turned over again. Smith comes flying through for Collingwood. His kick inside the 50, it's a perfect rocker. Tight on the boundary line, kicking from inside 50, a little bit of a scuffle going on in front of us. A few players getting involved with that. Cousins,
so this have to
one of them, Gallucci, what a surprise.
The right-hand goalpost, Pete.
But meanwhile, as Stoney says, that's the equation for Ben Crocker, who's tight on the boundary line. He'll kick from just inside the paint of 50. Chance to extend the margin. The kick from Crocker is going across the face and through for a behind. 5-12-42 Collingwood. Box Hill 3-5-23. 16 gone in the third quarter. A reminder, Box Hill need to win or draw to play finals. Season over for Collingwood no matter what happens in this game.
Kick in was short to Brand, and then his kick almost turned over. But good work by the Box Hill players to force a stoppage.
Who's in ninth at the moment?
That is Box Hill at the moment. Casey's sitting in eighth.
Yep.
So Box Hill trailing them by 2 premiership points at the moment. A draw with their superior percentage will get it done. But they'd probably prefer a win heading into September as Goldsack takes the mark for Collingwood.
Just a word too out of the room, Stoney. Sprained side, not playing any further part, concussion.
Goldsack's ball is long inside forward 50 and off hands out of bounds. That is a blow for Collingwood, especially for Sire himself. He was looking to establish himself back into that AFL team. Had a point to prove as well after a minor indiscretion last week, but he won't get a chance to do so here this afternoon. As the ball comes spinning back into play, Tyler Brown had it for a moment, then lost it. Besenavalagi in there as well. Eventually the Hawks do clear, and the mark taken by Kuchinopta.
They need to get a goal here. They need a goal in the next couple of minutes, just to build some momentum.
They certainly do. They trail it by 19 points, 42-23. Good kick and good mark by Aducci on our camera side of Box Hill City Oval, the Middleborough Road wing. And that short ball is okay for Walker. So playing it slowly, spots something he likes at half forward, and that was a good kick and a good mark as well. Box Hill can go. Good tackle though by Goldsack to impede the forward movement. Still going though, Box Hill, able to recover. Kick towards the goal mouth is good, and the mark taken by Dorian. Just outside the goal square, so he'll be put on a very tight angle.
That's tough kick from there. It'll take a really good shot.
As you've been saying all day, Stoney, that kick is into the teeth of the breeze. So Dorian will have to manufacture something pretty special if he's to put this through.
Is he going with a check side or is he going with a drop front?
He looks like he's shaping to go with a right foot banana. That's what he employs. He's made a good fist of it, but just misses. And Box Hill back to a 3-kick margin. 3-6-24 plays 5-12-42.
Wells kicks to Stevenson on defensive 50. His kick a little bit too far there for Marotta. Picking it up is Mirror for Box Hill. They've got the turnover going. Pitnet works back with Miles. Miles kicks into the middle of the ground towards centre half. Back! Dangerous kick, but it works out okay. Kuchinopta picks it up. They work into the middle of the Box Hill City Oval. They need to get something going, but it may be turned over in the middle of the ground. couple of players bounce off each other. Tardrew creating the contest for Collingwood. They pile in on top of him. Again, no one can get clear. Good contest, this one. The umpire will throw it up. In the centre square. Just into attack for the Pies.
Supporters getting into the game now behind me.
19 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter. It's Collingwood with the advantage. What can Box Hill do? They need a win or a draw to play finals. And it's Moore laying the tackle. No one getting up from that one. No, it's a holding the footy decision. Oh, Alex Woodward maybe a touch unlucky there. Kuchinota gets the ball from Moore. He takes the mark. He kicks short. Looks for Ross. Way too far out to score on centre wing. So he goes up towards half forward and turns the footy over. Kicked it straight to Oxley. Holding the defence together nicely. Adam Oxley, the VFL listed player these days, as he's kicked back up to centre wing. He's in the direction of Horner. We've got another pile of players over the top of the footy. Again, the umpire will throw it up. Centre wing position on that outer side. 42 plays 24. 20 minutes gone. 20 and a half minutes gone to be precise. In this third term, Pitnet got the tap down, but coming through was Brown. Just trying to paddle it forward. Now being one-armed. Can't actually release the footy. That was interesting. As Woodward trying to get to the bottom of the pack. They're scrambling for it. This is where the game really starts to lock down now. We're going to have one more go to try and get it going. There's Lynch working with Pitnet. Numbers in close for Box Hill getting the job done. Little short kick went away from Wells. Making nuisance of himself is Dorian again. And now the kick, they've found some space. Working there nicely was Boucher. Up to the top, so centre half forward. A task here for Golds, who got around Stevenson, was dealt with. Oh, there's a free kick coming up. It's going the way of Box Hill. And they're getting into Stevenson as well. After the ball was released. And there's a bit of a scuffle. Plenty of push and shove going on. There should be a downfield free kick. It will be.
Not that anyone's interested in that at the
Jackson
moment.
Ross. No one's really watching. Handball over the top. And here's a goal coming up. So that's in the books. Kilpatrick kicks the goal. The fight breaks up. It's all happening here at Box Hill City Oval. The important thing for the Hawks is that they brought it back to 12 points. 5-10-42 Collingwood. Box Hill 4-6-30. 22 minutes gone in the third quarter.
I didn't think there was much in that, but it obviously it was more that the hot players running around. So yeah, it wasn't much in it, but it's costing goal anyway. It's a goal the Box Hill side.
Yep. So
no, there
Golds
wasn't
was a player, but he was just as he released the kick, and it just kept going. The tackle.
There wasn't much in the tackle itself. I think some of the Box Hill players just saw an opportunity to get into Jaden Stevenson a little bit. And, well, Jaden Stevenson could have just replied back by saying, guys, you haven't been able to stop me all day.
Exactly.
So I'd be careful if I were you. And with Box Hill playing for a spot in the finals, they're trailing by 2 goals at the moment. 5-12-42 the Pies over the Hawks. 4-6-30, and they'll go forward once again. Box Hill for 2 in a minute. And Mullinger McHugh takes the mark just inside forward 50 against the breeze. He might just be within range.
Might have a big final quarter coming up here, Gents, I reckon.
Good veteran leadership also before by Tyson Goldsack, who came up to Stevenson as he was coming off the ground. Just told him to calm down a little bit. It's always good to see as Mullinger McHugh comes in to make this a one-kick game. It's a wobbler, it's ugly, and it's offline. Way offline, in fact. Out of bounds on the full. Collingwood gets away with one there. 12-point lead for the Pies, 23 gone third term.
He almost kicked into the man on the mark. Wells has got it. Back pocket for Collingwood. Just hesitates to release the kick. Needing to worried in the end because the options up the ground are good ones as Tohill will go back to Wells. Inside defensive 50. Switch potentially on. Tardrew is the long option. That's where this kick is going. Got to be precise. The spoil coming in there from Dorian, not quite sticking it. Now Oxley coming through. He goes for a little bit of a run. His kick up the line is a good one, and he finds Wilson on centre wing. Wilson right near the grandstand side. Long lead provided by Crocker, which is honoured. He takes the mark. Too far out to score. Kicks inside the 50s. That mark taken by Lynch. It is.
Stevenson will wear number 12 too, boys, when he comes back on.
Okay.
Guernsey 12.
So it goes from 1 to 12. Meanwhile, Lynch is tight on the boundary line. He's going to step in, kicking from 40 outs. The kick is a beauty! Oh, that's a great kick. Lynch with his first of the afternoon. They get to him as well. Important goal for Collingwood. Important goal for Box Hill as well. 6-12-48 plays Box Hill 4-6-30. 25 minutes gone in this final quarter.
You can see where
third quarter, I should
say. You can see where the breeze there. Just he let the breeze do the work and push it to the left hand. The ball come back beautifully. He just really like a golf swing going right down the middle.
Three-quarter time in Sydney, 11-4-70 Sydney. St Kilda 7-12-54. Sydney by 16. And into the third quarter, 7-4-46 Melbourne, trailing North Melbourne 7-7-49. They played 13 minutes into the third quarter there.
Former soccer player as a junior was Max Lynch. Worked his way onto the rookie list for Collingwood via the Murray Bushrangers, and he's looking more than comfortable with that oval ball. That was a brilliant shot for goal from tucked up against the boundary, and now here he is in the ruck against Mark Pitternet. That bounce will be recalled.
Glad you're here. Adam would be whinging right about now.
He would. Dealt with him for a long time as well, Peter, believe me. I know how he operates as Pitternet comes steaming out of the centre circles. Sends it inside forward 50, but the kick ill-directed. Wells there to mop up for Collingwood. Handball to Goldsack. His kick to no one in particular. His co-captain Hellier gets there first. His kick on the boundary line, smothered by Meadows, and over the line it goes, right in front of our boundary rider, Mark Stone.
Yeah, we see young Ben Crocker coming on the ground at the moment, and Collingwood hierarchy just having a bit of concern about Alex Woodward, who's off the ground at the moment. He's getting a bit of work done on the thigh.
His body has cruelled him so many times throughout his career, Alex Woodward. We hope it's nothing too major and that he's able to get back out there. Pitternet followed up well, having a good couple of minutes. High ball inside 50. Mark not quite taken by Ross. Goldsack at the back. The experience and the guile to work his way through the traffic. Give it off to Dacos, and now the Pies can work it by hand. Brown had his handball partially smothered. Did well to palm it off to Dacos on the ricochet. Looking for Besena Valagi, who couldn't bring it in. Gallucci now buzzing around at ground level. He likes these situations. Around one, around another. The kick to no one. And Brand there to mop up for Box Hill.
Who goes with the long ball? I think it might be Kaczynski out there as the ball in dispute. Besena Valagi gets himself into a good position. And on 50, he goes short. The Crocker mark. Or free kick. It's a chopping of the arms. And Crocker will have a shot at goal. And he wants to go, runs around as well. But he didn't hit it well and put it through for a behind. 6:13:49. Plays 4-6-30, and that is three-quarter time. 27 minutes and 25 seconds on the clock. And it sets up a really, really interesting final quarter. At three-quarter time, it is Box Hill 4-6-30, Collingwood 6-13-49. The goal kickers to three-quarter time for Collingwood, all singles, Stevenson, Lynch, Wilson, Woodward, Glover and Oxley. And for Box Hill, Miles, Cousins, Mullinger, McHugh and Kilpatrick. So in that quarter, it was a 2 goals, 3 for Collingwood and 1 goal, 2 for Box Hill, which means the margin has gone from 11 points at halftime to 19 points at three-quarter time. So it's all to play for the Box Hill Hawks, a win or a draw, and they play finals this season. Collingwood win. It's the end of the season for the Box Hill side and the end of the season for Collingwood as well. They're not going to feature in finals action. A break. We'll get inside the Box Hill huddle at three-quarter time and then a big final quarter coming away. Stick around here on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, The quest continues.
At Totally Workwear, we kit out the brickies, the chippies, the foremen, the tradies. Did we say foremen? They're not all men, some are ladies. Work in an office, retail, healthcare, hospitality? Here's where you'll find all your workwear. Yeah, totally. Totally Workwear have got you covered with the best brands, best value and best service. Totally Workwear. Get what you want and get back to work.
For club interviews and all the news from the Hard Yakka, Totally Workwear VFL and Swiss Wellness VFL Women's. Don't miss the VFL Hour during the Sporting Capital with Sam Hargraves. Tuesday nights from 9 p.m. on 1116 SEN.
But it's your job. You'll be fine.
Mate, just because everybody seems like they're doing it, doesn't actually mean that they are doing it.
Help your kids understand that betting and sport don't have to go together.
The ads don't always tell you the risks, yeah?
Before you have the talk, check lovethegame.vic.gov.au. Authorised by VRGF Melbourne.
Don't miss a moment of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Find SEN2 on your digital radio today for live coverage of the match of the round. The Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL, live on SEN2 DAB+.
I'm a digital radio. To help explain why it's time to update your old radio, with me is my friend Digital TV.
Hi.
Where you go?
Remember when us TVs went digital?
Everyone does. Get to the point.
Suddenly, you got lots more channels for free.
Yes.
Well, it's the same with digital radio.
When you buy a digital radio, you can get all your favourite stations plus up to 30 extra ones, playing all kinds of music, live sport and talk.
That's pretty great.
It's really great.
All you have to do is head into your nearest retailer
or check out digitalradioplus.com.au
and upgrade to digital.
Your Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Club needs you to show your support. Buying a VFL Club membership helps support your local team and provides great discounts and match access. The VFL gives you the chance to get in the coach's huddle and enjoy kick-to-kick on the field, whilst kids under 15 get in free. Get involved in the VFL this season. Head to vfl.com.au/membership to find out what membership offers are available at your club in 2019.
Love your sport? Then you'll love SEN.
Stuart Appleby has come from 7 strokes behind.
And you'll find it on digital radio. Simply scroll to SEN, Melbourne's home of sport.
Streaming live through VFL.com.au. This is VFL Live.
1 quarter of football to play in the home and away season for the Box Hill Football Club and the Collingwood Football Club. It is 3-quarter time here at Box Hill. 6:13:49 Collingwood. Leading the Box Hill Hawks 4-6-30. Box Hill need to win or draw to play finals. Collingwood out of finals contention. That's the equation that stands here heading into this final term. We'll get the stats in a moment from Michael Beppatelli. We'll get into the Box Hill huddle with Mark Stone as well. But earlier today, in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL, it was a win for the Bulldogs. Footscray 13-23-101 to Coburg 10-6-66. A big win for the Bulldogs, pretty much sealing up second spot on the ladder. They will have a home final against Williamstown unless Williamstown win by 282 points or more tonight against Werribee. So still, you'd suspect it'll be Footscray, Williamstown over at Whitten Oval, and at Punt Road, the Swinburne Centre, it'll be Richmond and Essendon. Mark Stone, let's go to you on the boundary.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Marco Bello. Well, what comes to this, the last quarter, Marco, just what do you think? What do you think the coach is saying to now, right now?
It's about controlling the football. I think Collingwood would have been much better at being able to use the uncontested ball and make their way up the ground. I thought we stifled them a little bit that quarter, but we need to continue to do that and do the same going back the other way. So we need to make the most of our forward 50 inches this quarter. You got the breeze, so it's obviously in your favour that you haven't really played well all day. So to have 1 quarter to know you can make the finals if you win this game. Well, yeah, you're right. It's basically up to us now. And as you said, if we can make the most of it going forward, the win's not going to do it for us. But you know, we're 3 goals down here, but yeah, we've got to make sure we use the footy first and foremost, use it well, hit up our targets going forward, and then kick some goals. Thanks, Marco.
Thank you, Marco Bello. He's always been good with his time on VFL Live, VFL Radio over the years as well, Stoney, and it is just one last push. What was the move before we quickly go to some stats, Stoney, in the 3-quarter time huddle for Box Hill?
Well, Max Bailey just brought the players in really close and just said, listen, guys, I mean, we haven't really played the best football all day. We only have to kick 4 goals to win the game. And we said, I know it's going to be an ask, but I said, Kenny just really implied with his troops to really gather momentum and try and get the ball out of the middle and get it down there quickly. And he said we can change the game pretty quickly.
Michael Bepicelli, stats to three-quarter time, please.
Thanks, Peter. It's mostly defenders leading the way. Taya Miles has 22 for Box Hill. James Cousins with 21 and Dave Mirror with 17 for Box Hill. And for Collingwood, Josh Dacos has brought his own footy this afternoon. 32 touches to three-quarter time. And he's followed by Woodward with 24. And Jaden Stevenson, so much talk about him during the week. He's got 19 and 1 goal too.
All right, the last of the spectators making their way off the ground. Just very quickly up in Sydney, 83 plays 61. Sydney leading St Kilda 11 into the last there. And 70 plays 55. Melbourne leading down there. 11-4, 70, playing 8-7, 55. 23 minutes gone, third quarter down in Tassie. They are the two AFL games underway. So we wait for the last of the spectators to make their way off the Box Hill City Oval. Everyone gets back into position. 1 quarter potentially left in the season for the Box Hill Hawks. Definitely 1 quarter left in the season for Collingwood. Braden Saar just repeating the news. Concussion off the ground. Not going to play any further part in this one. As the umpire holds the ball aloft, let's go. Final quarter. We'll see whether the Hawks can make the finals or will Collingwood record a win to finish off the season.
How much does Box Hill want it? That's the question to which we're going to find out the answer in this final term as Pitternet sends it long towards half forward. Bounce beat everyone. Now at ground level, Oxley tracking it, so too Aducci. Eventually the boundary line beats them both. They are kicking to the southern end of the ground in this final term. Maroondah Highway end of the ground, or left of screen if you're watching us on VFL.com.au. That is the end. That's had the wind advantage all day. So they'll come home with the breeze, but Collingwood have held firm, and they might get a chance at a goal here. The Hawks, Aducci snaps and misses across the face of goal. Just didn't quite bring it back far enough. They get the first score of the final term, though, the Hawks. Margin back to 18 points, 4-7, plays 6-13.
Oxley to bring the ball back into play for Collingwood. And hug the outer side of the ground, or our camera side. His kick going up the line. Tohill having to come forward to try and pick it up. Couldn't do so. Only just sets it on its way, but it's going to be turned over. A chance again for the Hawks. Mirror being sensational again for Box Hill. Kick finds the skipper. Moore, 60 from goal. Turns, goes. Kick up to the top of the goal square. One grab, not the second. Taken there almost by Kajitsky. And the umpire says we'll throw it up as the pack descended on the footy. They need the first goal here, Box Hill. They want to get it reasonably quickly. Working there, Lynch with the height advantage. And again, the ball held up. Tight contest it's been all day. Low scorer. Collingwood this season hasn't kicked a score over 100 points. It's a clearing kick from the ruck contest. Heading outside the 50, but it's going to come back in. DeWitt just got the handball off, but it was a sharp chance. Now Miles, tight on the boundary line. He actually kicked it when he was over the line, so he will have it thrown in. Into attack here for Box Hill, who trail 49-31. We've gone 2 minutes in the final quarter. Hardjacker Totally Workwear, VFL Live on VFL.com.au, video streaming through YouTube, and then on SEN2. You'll hear us on SEN across the final series. More on that in a sec.
Just the one behind in this final term. It's gone the Hawks' way, and they've had it locked inside their forward 50 as an up and under comes in. The mark not paid, yes. Or is it? Yes.
Moore.
It is to Moore. And the skipper tries to lead his team to within 2 straight kicks. It's a very high ball, didn't travel all that far, but the umpire deemed it was far enough. And now Andrew Moore can go back and kick his side's 5th goal of the afternoon.
There's a hush over the crowd.
Just the 5 goals for the season for the skipper. He's not a noted goal kicker. This one from about 30s just sneaks home. Box Hill gets the dream start to quarter 4. They trail by 12 points now, 5-7, 37. Plays Collingwood 6-13, 49.
Yeah, you got to come with the hour, come with the man sort of thing, but took a really good pack mark, and went back and slotted it through the middle, and that's what they really needed to start. Pitney will start to dominate. Try and see him push the ball forward, grab the ball out of the ruck, just get it down.
So, well, where there's light, there's hope for Box Hill. Still got to kick the 3 goals to nothing to win the game. We've gone 3 minutes and 50 seconds in this final quarter. Ball back in the middle. The rucks go out of Pitney, got it again. Pitney, I should say, down to Woodward though. Woodward's quick kick going high up and under sort of style. It makes the required distance, but no one can take the mark. Mirror off a step, just puts it back into the centre circles. Clean bowls the initial pack, trying to bring the ball out as a Ducci. Can't do so now, forced to lay the tackle, and the umpire will come in and throw it up. Attacking side for the Hawks, who trail 49-37. Ball tossed back up. Lynch got the tap down. No one can break clear of the contest again. Stevenson wearing number 12. After a little bit of a scuffle in the 3rd quarter. Nothing untoward about it. Just got his jumper ripped. Now an opportunity here as Boucher kicks inside 50. A little dribbling ball for the Hawks, but it's going to come straight back out again. The Pies look to clear. It may only be temporary though. The ball up towards centre wing, picking up nicely as Greaves got the handball across. Here's Boucher again. He's been pretty good for the Hawks, but this kick not so much. The kick towards 50 goes out of bounds on the full. Turnover to the Pies. And they'll have a chance to load up again from half back. Right near the scoreboard, which the lights taking effect from that. A little bit surprised, even with the overcast conditions, that the lights haven't been just flicked on here. Otherwise, no rain, which is a good thing.
Kick is long up the line. Lynch got a hand to it. Other arm was almost being held. Umpire let it go. Oxley's kick holds up in the breeze. We've seen a couple do that for Collingwood early in this final term, and Mirror read it best. Pops it into the middle, and now the Hawks have numbers running through the middle. One of those, Aducci, kicks it into Goldsack on the mark though. Well done by the veteran. Now a chance for Collingwood. Galucci, Besenavalagi, tapped on cleverly by Marotta. Brown through the traffic. Broomhead calms things down and finds a man, Dacos, on the wing. Sends it long towards half forward to a one-on-one. DeWitt and Crocker. DeWitt got the fist to it. He had all the support at ground level. Now the Hawks away off half-back. Walker had it punched away from him. Still going at ground level is Walker, but the Collingwood cavalry comes to support. Smith there. He kicks it long up the line, and they're just playing kick-to-kick at the moment. Mirror takes the mark. Now he changes the angles. So we're not playing kick-to-kick anymore. Greaves gives it off to Horner. And now a chance for Miles, just inside defensive 50. Stevenson comes to stand the mark, but Miles does well to wrong foot him. Now Cousins through the middle of the ground, ambitious kick. Bit off more than he can chew, the mark taken by Galucci.
When he could have run at least another 20 metres forwards. Oh, it's been turned over again in the middle of the ground, coming through to cut it off, Kaczynski. He kicks, oh, it's over the head. It's going to be a push out though. It's going to be a Box Hill free kick. A Box Hill free kick. Mullinger McHugh is going to be the one taking it. He was pushed in the back. So, this to make the margin 1 goal. 7 minutes into the final quarter. Nathan Mullinger McHugh has kicked a goal. He needs this one. Oh no, he did not hit that well at all, but it's through for a behind, which may prove to be handy. By the way, they had the lunch here today, Michael, and Andrew Moore was named the Box Hill, made the Box Hill All-Star team of the last 20 years.
Who's that?
Andrew Moore.
Really?
Dave Mirror named captain of the team. That was at the lunch earlier today.
Well, under those two gents.
Thoroughly deserved. Andrew Moore's been an excellent player for Box Hill last few years now. Had another outstanding season as the skipper, averaging just under 24 disposals a game. Kicked a big goal earlier in this final term. They trail it by 11 points to the Hawks. Their season on the line. But they won't come away with this clearance. Marotta for Collingwood. Hits Wilson on the chest. Has Miles as an opponent. Does Wilson at the moment. He's been impressive today, the former basketballer.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Sends it long up the line. Mirror, the fist of reason comes through.
There was a lot of talk swirling around Wilson and where he was going to go to.
He was a much sought-after man, Tom Wilson. Plenty of clubs were vying for his services, but I think Collingwood just offered a little bit more tenure, and that's why he took their contract offer in the end. As Box Hill clears, the mark taken by Walker, has a man running back towards goal. It's Kajitsky. It might go all the way anyway. Kajitsky makes a sure thing of it. And the Hawks are back to within a kick. 6-8-44 now, the Hawks. Collingwood 6-13-49. Only Kajitsky's third goal of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time, Stoney.
Yeah, it's a really good goal, but you can see the Box Hill Hawks just starting to run on top of the ground. Mark Pitney, as I said, is starting to control and dominate the big men, and he's getting the ball forward. He's pushing the ball forward as much as they can. Their small men are starting to get a lot more football, so now it's about who wants to win this football game. Box Hill, they win, they get in the finals. If they don't, it's curtain. So it's a really important stage of the game. It's 9 minutes in the last quarter.
And a real reversal when they played back in round 8. It was Collingwood who ran over the top of Box Hill that day, 5-1 in the final quarter at Victoria Park. Ball back in the middle. Important contest to win. Pitnet got it down, but it's been taken away by Lynch, who kicks up towards half forward. No mark taken. DeWitt picked it up for Box Hill. Oh, they've got numbers on this side of the ground. Working their Boucher. Now the ball inside, heading inside the 50. It's going to go wide and over the line. There was no one out there. Tell you what, Kuchinotta would have set him a task. He would have broken the land speed record to try and capture that ball. But we'll have it thrown in just inside the 50 here for the Hawks.
Your big ruckman, maybe not the man you want kicking it inside forward 50 in that situation.
Ball tossed back in. Important minutes. Lynch had it all to himself pretty much in the end, but it went straight down to Golds, whose kick up towards the teeth of goal. Didn't quite hit the target, but having a shot round the body. Boucher kicks it. Box Hill in front. He spun around. He kicked it. And how is that? Big goal coming up. There's a Collingwood player down. We'll find out who it is in a moment. 7-8-50 Box Hill lead by a point over Collingwood. 6-13-49.
Well, Big Max Bailey said it's 3/4 time. We've got to rally and try and push the ball forward as much as possible. It's taken them 10 minutes and 56 seconds to hit the lead.
Is it Murphy, the player that's down? And now getting to his feet, it is. Yeah, Murphy was just hit hard. Maybe shoulder. It's a bit hard to tell from my vantage point, Stoney. But he'll be heading your way shortly.
Looks like he got a hit to the head, actually, Pete. I reckon he's a bit dazed, a bit concussion. And
so Sire off the ground already. Didn't come back after half-time. Concussion. Stevenson's gotten through unscathed to this stage. And now Nathan Murphy coming from the ground.
Had a season ruined by injury. Nathan Murphy hurt himself in round 1 of the VFL season. Only made his return in Collingwood's last game a couple of weeks ago. So he's hoping it's not a major ailment for him as he looks to establish himself in Collingwood's AFL lineup in his 3rd season next year.
Bit of concussion, I reckon. You'll find.
Well, the 20 minutes means he won't play any further part. They do the concussion test.
He's just made his way off the ground now, so we're ready to get this game back up and running. The Hawks have kicked 3 goals, 2 to no score.
30 points to lead for Sydney over St Kilda up in Sydney. About 10 minutes to play up there.
So it's taken a while, but the Hawks have woken up. More clears into the path of his teammate there in Kilpatrick, and now Kuchinotta sends him inside forward 50. Keen there for Collingwood. Did well to get a hand to it. Still in play. Tardrew kept it in, almost to his detriment. Goldsack made it look better. Now a chance for Crocker outside defensive 50. And he ran it deliberately, unintentionally over the line.
It will take a bit now for Collingwood to come back to me because Box Hill got all the momentum at the moment and with the breeze. So it'll go totally against the trend if Collingwood can get a couple of goals here at this point of the quarter with a play just gone off.
Hawks by a point. Boundary throw in just outside forward 50 for Hawthorn. Collingwood has barely gotten it inside their forward half of the ground. As we get another stoppage, the ball locked in. Andrew Moore's had a big second half. He's doing all he can to lead his team to September. Wells and Crocker play the 1-2. Risky inside defensive 50, but they trust each other to pull it off. And now Tardrew, last line of defence. Goes the switch. Dacos running onto it. He just manhandled his opponent who didn't have the footy. Umpire said play on, and now Collingwood able to clear. Here's Oxley, couldn't quite handle it. He was dragged down. Untidy stuff from both teams. Umpire circling, and we'll get a ball up.
Do you remember, Stoney, what was it, about 5 years ago? Swinburne Centre. It was Richmond and Footscray. And Footscray kick after the siren to set up their finals campaign.
Who was the player there?
Was it Fletcher Roberts?
It was. Absolutely right, Pete.
As Moore goes around the body here for Box Hill. They don't need more than just a 1 point margin, you feel. It was picked up by Oxley, but Oxley's turned over the footy. Byrne picks it up for Box Hill, sends it back inside 50, turns it over again. Crocker takes the mark. Fletcher Roberts, outside 50, just got the distance. I remember that one clearly. By golly. What a scramble that was. As this kick into the path of Dorian.
Too high.
It was too high. He did fumble at the crucial moment. He's a shorter player. Lynch came over the top. So Dorian will send Box Hill deep inside 50 again. Oh, Goldsack goes for a fly. Couldn't bring the mark down. It falls to the back. Packet players. Ball eventually released. Here's another chance going around the body. Kaczynski just hurling it onto the boot. And it goes through for a behind. That could be handy. It's a 2 point margin now Box Hill's way. 7-9-51, play 6-13-49. Almost 15 gone in this final quarter. Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live will be back into audio mode from next week.
Players go with the class of Wells to take the kick in. He sends it long and wide. Lynch, the tall timber there. Follows up well at ground level, and eventually we get a ball up.
So, just to explain for our viewers, we'll be live on SEN2 for most of the Saturdays and live on 11:16 SEN on the Sundays, including the grand final as well. You'll hear our coverage on the airwaves of SEN throughout the final series of the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. Love the game final series.
Long ball inside 50 for Box Hill, off hands, out of play it goes. Almost 16 gone, final term. 3 goals 2 to no score, 3 goals 3 in fact, to no score in this final term. Sees Box Hill clinging to a 2 point lead. Collingwood look like a team that's run out of gas in this final quarter as Lynch's hacked kick out of defensive 50 is intercepted. And here's Taya Miles having himself a big day. Disposal 25 coming up. And he goes short for Horner. And now Dorian on the wing. Just holds it up momentarily, then spots an option he likes. It's Moore. Has it just outside forward 50. Gets a nice applause from the Box Hill fans. Now he sends it long into the pocket. Who's there? No one. Toehill for Collingwood. Got a hand to it and happy to see it out of play.
It was almost Kaczynski taking a one-hander down in the pocket there.
It's looked good in this final term. Has Jacob Kaczynski played as a defender for most of the season. Now taking his turn in the forward line and trying to assist the Box Hill Hawks in making the finals. They won't get a score here. Tyler Brown weaves his way through the congestion nicely, sends it long, but only as far as Brand.
They've got this set up really well.
Yep, they're doing it nicely. Kick and mark sort of style. Horner takes it. He's on centre wing. Looks up. Goes by short kick dangerously. Turnover. Broomhead takes the mark for Collingwood. Not too many numbers streaming forward, it's fair to say, for the Pies, as his kick goes shorts and finds Hellier. Co-captain of this Magpies VFL team. Hellier thinking of going up the line. Instead, he goes with a short kick to Wells. Point of the square defensive side. Into the middle of the ground, he goes to Smith. Smith going to the other side, looking for Dacos. Been a bit quieter in this second half. Dacos just held up. Not sure which way he's going to go here. Called to play on by the umpire. He goes with a short ball. Smith comes in to provide the target. Got the handball across to Tardrew. Looking for Besenavalagi. Takes the mark. Between wing and half forward. Looking to set up again for this Collingwood team. Time ticking down. The kick inside the 50. Mark in front. Excellent stuff. Is that the 23rd player? Marotta it is. Michael Marotta could break some Box Hill hearts here. So we see again on our video stream, we see a replay of it. Just strong hands at the front of the pack. But he will line up. This will be a tricky kick, Stoney, as we've been saying all day to this end. He'll kick from 40 out, but plenty of goal face to look at.
Left-hand goal post, Pete.
So Michael Marotta, the 23rd player for Collingwood today, steps in, kick, missed. 1 point, the result, margin 1 point. A draw will be enough for Box Hill, by the way. 7-9-51 Box Hill, Collingwood 6-14-50. 19 minutes gone in this final quarter.
We say the draw will be enough almost flippantly earlier in the game, but at a moment like this, you realise how important that fact might just be as the Hawks clear defensive 50. Tardrew affects the spoil. Stevenson happy to see it over. It's been a little quieter in this second half, Jaden Stevenson, other than having his jumper ripped off in that third term, but he certainly looms as an X-factor who could win this game for the Pies if given the opportunity. Pitternet takes it out of the ruck over the overmatched Toehill. Oxley couldn't quite handle it, went in again, then just dropped the footy. Toehill a little clumsily lays the tackle and a tie. So Meadows to take the free for Box Hill, just outside the centre square. On our commentary side, bereft of any short options, he just hoists it high towards half forward and tells his big fellas to go to work. Slick hands at the back by Ross. Well gathered. Now a chance for Box Hill. Inside 50. Cousins mucking around with it. So too Kuchinota. The kick inside 50 is marked in the pocket for Box Hill. And now a chance for the Hawks to improve their lead. It's Jackson Ross who has it.
This will take a really good kick. I wonder if it looks as though he's going to go on the left foot. So he's going to go around the body on his left. So this is a really hard skill.
He's backing himself. Here is Ross. A left foot snap. Misses to the near side. Margin back to 2 points. 7-10-52. Play 6-14-50. Into time on final term.
Oxley, terrible kick. Went straight to Moore. It comes back to Oxley. All's well that ends well temporarily here for the Pies. Broomhead picked it up. He was 360. Ball spills free. Hacking on the boot is Byrne. High ball inside 50 again. Oxley coming out to meet it. He was dispossessed. Quick kick out of the pack. It's a goal! That should just about be enough to see the Hawks into the finals.
That was the skipper again, I think.
It was.
He picked it up, Andrew Moore. He threw it on the boots, and he's got his second in this final term. 8-10-58 Box Hill. Collingwood 6-14-50.
When you lose 3 players, Pete, it's really hard in the rotations. We've only got 2 left players left on the pine for the Pies, so the weighted numbers are starting to tell in the Magpies side.
Not the biggest numbers for Andrew Moore this afternoon, just the 19 touches, which is below his average, but he has come through in the clutch when his team needs him. 2 crucial final quarter goals to put the Hawks in front by 8 points. Well into time on in this final term. He might just have sealed their ticket to September as we get another recalled bounce. 22 gone, 58 plays 50. Low scoring game at Box Hill City Oval. So much on the line for the Hawks as Meadows wraps up Tyler Brown. 8-point ball game will go again in the middle. Clearance goes Box Hill's way. Lockie Walker's left foot ball. Not intercepted by Oxley, decided to tap it out in front instead. Had an opponent in Boucher for close company. Does well to get it out. Now Gold sack. Real stuff under pressure here for Collingwood. Woodward received the handball and just poked it short to Broomhead.
Has he gone down again? Woodward's?
And
doesn't
look good for Woodward.
Straight away, the trainers have come out. Immediately, they knew something was wrong. Teammates came out as well. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. This is horrible to watch. Trainers coming from all directions. Alex Woodward.
The only fear, Pete, I can't see from over there, you've probably got the glasses possibly.
Yeah, we can see it on our monitor here. We're going to see a replay of it too. So he picked it up, Woodward, and he He balked, then he kicked. Oh, then the tackler came over the top.
The knee?
Yeah.
He's holding on to it.
Yep. Immediately grabbed onto it. Immediately teammates came across. Tyson Goldsack, Adam Oxley. They knew what was going on, so we're going to have a delay here. And this is heartbreaking. This really is. Oh, don't worry about the result and all this sort of stuff. I mean, you talk about the human side of this game, and
on this ground where he was a Box Hill player,
Yep.
and the history he created this club.
That's right.
And this the final quarter, the final let's say 6 minutes or 10 minutes potentially of the game of your season, and this happens.
Yeah.
It's just that's horrendous.
You
It's
mentioned
lost for words.
You mentioned before, Stoney, how he played so much footy at this ground. Immediately, Dave Mirra rushed up to him and just wished him the best. Those two played so much footy together over the years, and even if you're wearing different coloured jumpers these days, you still never like to see that.
But the resilience he's shown each and every time.
Absolutely.
To come back. I mean, even sort of just being around the team, he was a runner for the AFL side as well, as he was working his way back again. And of all the people for this to happen to, in this situation, there's, yes, going for the win, obviously, but the season's done for the VFL side.
And he's played almost every game too.
Deep into the final quarter. He's played 17th game for the season. The good news is that he is getting to his feet. So the stretcher did come out, but not required. But he does. He does. And not only are the Collingwood players getting around him, but the Box Hill players are too. This is great to see in a horrible situation. Talk about the human side of football and the devastation for Alex Woodward, but not only his teammates rallying, but some of the Box Hill players too. He is walking off under his own steam. But, yeah, I mean, the Box Hill looks like they're going to be playing finals here, but that sort of situation, you don't want to see to any player, especially not one who has had the wretched run that Alex Woodward has had across his career. Liston Trophy winner. We've seen how good he can be, probably win the Pies best and fairest for the VFL team, the way he's played this season. And now
the realisation, watching Alex Johnson now, and he's in tears because he knows that what he's been through twice now, and he's walking off with two trainers or two people.
It's just awful.
Just the timing of it too. As I say, 10 minutes to play. Have a listen to the Pies fans here. And I reckon the Box Hill fans will be applauding as well, because they know what this guy's been through. They know what he's put into their club as well. And he slowly makes his way off the ground. Well, it means a slight delay on the play. It's 27 minutes gone, but a good 5 minutes, maybe 5 to 7 minutes been eaten away. And of course, Alex Woodward will go straight into the rooms too, Stoney. Any news, let us know, but I don't think it's going to be good. It's the ball back into play, and we've got a defensive mark taken for the Hawks.
So play goes on late in the final term. Everyone out there will be playing with a heavy heart now. It's Alex Woodward coming off the ground. What looks to be a serious injury as the Hawks work it out of defensive 50. They're almost assured of a spot in the finals thanks to this furious final quarter rally. Collingwood able to clear the congestion. Oxley sends it towards half forward. Wilson has to contend with a couple, and Brand once again takes a good defensive mark, has a teammate on short, and finds him, and now over the top to Byrne.
So just confirming, Stoney, tell us how many are on the bench for Collingwood now? It'd only be down to 2, yes?
One.
One on the bench.
Yeah.
So Nathan Murphy went off concussed. Brayden Sire's gone off concussed.
And Sam Glover.
Went off with a leg injury.
Yep. So it'd be a Herculean effort from the Pies if they're able to get the win here. Meanwhile, Goldsack's taken the mark on centre wing. on that outer side. He's called to play on by the umpire. His kick across the ground, dangerous. Couple of Box Hill players affecting the contest. Wells, though, up to the challenge. Pushed it in front into the path of Broomhead. He managed to get it out across to Crocker. This may not be done yet, this contest. He finds Gallucci. Wants to give off the handball. It goes inside 50. Here's an opportunity. Toe Hill! Yes! Oh, it's not done yet. Margin back to 2 points. 28 minutes gone. It's going to be a long final quarter. Box Hill 8-10-58, Collingwood 7-14-56.
You know, really, they have stoppage in games and, you know, the momentum changes. Collingwood, obviously, Alex Woodward goes down, the game stops for 5 minutes, and then Collingwood get a goal. It'll be about how Box Hill's mental strength is now, about Collingwood will lift now with that goal. So it's going to be interesting how the last 3 minutes goes.
But they've got the soldiers on the park, don't they, Box Hill?
They do.
When you're down to one rotation, surely Box Hill should be able to get it done from here.
Momentum is a funny thing in footy, and sometimes in the most devastating of circumstances, teams can lift, and we've seen the Pies do that in the last minute. Can they make it a fairy tale finish? Not here. Cousins free kick in the centre. Just assesses his options before hoisting it high inside forward 50. Kaczynski there, almost with the one hand. Now at ground level, they might need a goal here, the Hawks, and Ross gets a quick reply. And any hopes of a Collingwood rally might just have been dashed with that goal. Jack Ross, with a sense of timing like no other, gives the Hawks an 8-point lead.
We talk about momentum going back the other way. The free kick in the middle of the ground. And they made the most of it, just bombing it inside 50. Josh Kaczynski's been good in this final quarter. And it's now 64 playing 56. The ball dribbling into the path of goal, and Ross, right place, right time. He's kicked just the one goal today, kicked 4 goals in the corresponding match at Victoria Park. By the way, big win for Sydney. 109-64 over St Kilda. 6 minutes into the final quarter, Melbourne narrowly 2 points over North Melbourne. Back here though, back inside 50 for Box Hill. Clean bowls the initial pack. Opportunity again here for the Hawks. A quick kick out of the back. Mullinger McGoo kicks the goal. There's a sealer. That will pretty much do it. 10-10-70 Box Hill playing finals to Collingwood. 7-14-56. 31 minutes gone in the final quarter, but a long quarter because of the knee injury again to Alex Woodward. But now, after that little glimmer of hope for the Pies, Box Hill are getting it done. Mullinger McHugh kicks his second goal. And they should be home now, Stoney.
Yeah, they should be home now. Just the momentum that Mark Pitney's been sensational. Andrew Moore in this quarter. Their small men have started to get their hands on the ball. They couldn't get control of the ball in the first half, but in this second half, they've really worked their way back into the game.
Margin out to 14 points, 31.5 gone final term. They've got all the energy, Box Hill. They go inside 50 once again off the boot of Meadows. That ball not going anywhere after the bounce. We'll get a stoppage. About 40 out from the Box Hill goal. 10-10-70 plays 7-14-56. They've been gallant today, the Pies, but just running out of foot soldiers at a rapid pace. They flick it around by hand here in defensive 50. Cleared by Keane, but it might be coming straight back. Plenty of numbers around it. Handball over the top was Slick. Taken by Moore. Playing a huge final term. Meadows off the pass goes. And there's another one for the Hawks. Ross again. Margin out to 20 points. 11-10-76. Plays 7-14-56. The Box Hill Hawks will get a chance to defend their flag in September.
Football's a really interesting game. It's a total head game because Box Hill couldn't get their hands on the ball in the first 3 quarters. And this quarter, they just really, this is why they won the flag last year, because this sort of football, Mark Pitney dominating the work around the stoppage and just getting the ball forward and just on a roll. They just keep, the ball just bounces in their way and bounces up to them, and they can just have shots on goal like that and go through.
Maybe we should get a sense of the hit-out count today, because it has been dominated by the Box Hill Hawks, who will play finals again potentially an elimination final against Port Melbourne, Stoney.
Wouldn't that be sensational?
Remember that one extra time last year as the ball recalled again.
I know that Port Melbourne supporters, they have this thing about the Box Hill, the games they played against Box Hill. I remember that years ago when Stratton was playing out at Port Melbourne one day, kicked the goal on the left foot to win the game.
Yep. Oh, maybe. We'll see at the end of this round. Meanwhile, Broomhead working for the Pies. Gets the ball up towards half forward. Besenavalagi picks up the foot. He just ripped it out of the hands of his opponent, but Pitnet was there. Managed to get the handball out looking for Cousins, who holds and then kicks short but turns it over. Goldsack takes the mark. He goes across the ground, finds Crocker. And Crocker's kick into the middle of Box Hill City Oval. Besenavalagi takes the mark. His kick over the top. Looking for Hallier. One grab, not the second. Brown picked it up. Ridden into the turf. Wilson shot it out. Trying to kick it to advantage was Crocker. Couldn't do so. Plenty of numbers here for the Hawks. Miles shuts the handball out. Walker. And they're looking pretty good now. Mirror. He's kicked in and find the target of Kaczynski. It's turned over as it's worked back into the middle of the ground again. Besenavalagi. He runs towards half forward. Now Broomhead. Handball across. Gallucci can close to 40 and hit the post. 7-15-57 Collingwood. Box Hill 11-10-76. They kicked 2 goals 8 in the opening quarter, Collingwood. It's been costly. 35 minutes gone, not long to go now. The Box Hill Hawks can celebrate being in the finals.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Peter. You can't help but think about that first term in which the Pies dominated, but just couldn't get value for money on the scoreboard as Keane goes short. Besenavalagi. He's been a bright light for the Pies today. R2 Besenavalagi, as the VFL season comes to a close for the Magpies. His kick, just a little bit too much on it for Tohill, but
free kick.
He will win himself a free kick. No, going the other way to Box Hill. Meadows the man to take it.
Can they cause some damage in September, Stoney, Box Hill?
They're a dangerous side. You wouldn't want to be playing the first week because they can do this. They can play like this. I mean, their form has been inconsistent, but on their day, they're capable of doing anything.
Meadows' kick is a long and wide one. Wells read it well off hands. Keeps it in. Finds Lynch and forward the Pies go again. That kick is a wobbler, but the mark taken nicely by Dacos.
How many, if they don't make the finals, Hawthorn, how many players have qualified?
That's a good question.
I know Ruffy is retired, but he definitely qualified.
Oxley sends it inside forward 50 for Collingwood. Tohill at the front. Couldn't bring it in. Still battling hard at ground level of the Pies. Marotta in there. Couldn't quite handle it cleanly. And he's on top of it. We'll get a stoppage.
It's always, you know, when your AFL team is in the finals as well, your VFL team, it can play anybody on the first week.
Correct.
So it'd be interesting to see the qualifications, how many players have.
Well, that's it. That's why I say about Hawthorn. Because if they don't make AFL finals, then the restrictions come in.
Yeah, they do.
Well, the Hawks play the West Coast Eagles in Perth tonight, and if they win, they put themselves in a very good position in terms of making the final 8 in the AFL. And those questions might not even matter as Box Hill clears here, and there is the final siren. The Box Hill Hawks are going to the finals. They do so with a 19-point win over a gallant Collingwood. 11-10-76 plays 7-15-57. Well done to the Hawks. They'll have a chance to defend their premiership in September this year.
They led by 14, Collingwood at quarter time, 11 at half time, 19 at three-quarter time, but it's been a not a 9-goal quarter, what am I saying? A 7-goal quarter, 7 goals to 1 in the final term to run out 19-point winners. We'll get the goal kickers and then we'll get to Stoney with an interview and we'll wrap things up from here. But for Box Hill, a couple of goals each to Ross, Moore and Mullinger McHugh, and singles to Kaczynski, Miles, Cousins, Kilpatrick and Boucher. And for Collingwood, all singles across the board. Stevenson, who played really well today, big chance of a call-up for finals. Tohill, Lynch, Wilson, Woodward, who went off with that horrible knee injury again. Glover and Oxley. Glover also off the ground, Braden Sire off the ground too. They've had a tough day, Collingwood, and they push Box Hill all the way, but the Hawks just running over the top as you're seeing the final quarter highlights on our video stream. Next week we'll be in finals mode. All the details of where we'll be and what games we'll be doing on SEN2 and SEN across next weekend. Find out tomorrow on VFL.com.au. We'll have all of those details for the finals. Coming up, earlier it was the Bulldogs winning over Coburg to lock away second spot on the ladder. And a magnificent performance by Footscray to get that win. They'll play at Whitten Oval against Williamstown. The games tomorrow, Geelong and Essendon. Geelong working out where they're going to finish inside the bottom half of the top 8. And the Northern Blues and Sandringham finishing off their seasons. But Box Hill definitely in.
Here we go.
Let's go to you, Mark Stone.
You took to the last quarter, Andrew, to pull the best footy of the day, but another finals campaign. Must be excited about that.
Yeah, it is really exciting. Obviously, Collingwood really put it up to us. The first half was pretty much played on their terms, but credit to our boys, we really stuck to our task and obviously came away with the win, so it was good.
Three-quarter time, what did Max say to the players? It was just about, you knew you hadn't played well all day, but really had to really rally and try and get some game going, and Mark Pitney was sensational.
Yeah, the message was pretty simple. We know what we need to do going with the wind. We just need to be more direct and play our system because we know our system and our best footy. We take it up to the best of the comp. So we need to play our way, and we showed that in the fourth quarter.
Sad part of the game, we've seen Alex go down there, and that was devastating for both clubs. I was just seeing what football's all about when things like that happen.
Yeah, no one ever likes any injuries in the game, and especially for a person like Alex Woodward. It's sad to say. Hopefully he gets some good results in terms of those scans or whatever that injury was. But yeah, as you can see, he's a talented player and a fantastic bloke as well. And yeah, we don't like seeing that in the football.
Good luck, mate. Good luck for the finals. Another campaign for the Box Hill Footy Club, which is a great thing.
Thank you. Thanks, Sammy.
Beautifully done. Thank you, Stoney, with Andrew Moore, the skipper. Thank you for your work, Stoney. We will catch you across the final series. Final score here. Box Hill 11-10-76, Collingwood 7-15-57. Box Hill locking away 8th spot on the ladder. Only a handful of permutations, I suppose, or just one more where Geelong and Werribee are finishing inside 5, 6, 7 and 8. It's going to be an exciting couple of games coming up to see whether Werribee can beat Williamstown today, or tonight I should say, at Downer Oval, and also whether the Bombers can get the win over the Cats tomorrow down at GMHBA Stadium. That's the Channel 7 game as well. It's been a great day here at Box Hill City Oval. A sad day for Alex Woodward, though, going down with what we suspect is another knee injury. Brendan Sire also off with concussion. It's season done for the VFL Magpies. Not season done for you, though, Michael Bepicelli. We'll catch you during the final series.
That's right, Peter. Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Big thank you to Morgan over the back, too. This is our last video stream game of VFL Live video stream anyway. He's been putting it all together. He's been sensational all throughout the season, and he'll still be part of the Swiss Wellness VFL Women's final series coming your way. All the coverage details on VFL.com.au coming up over the next day or two, and we look forward to your company next week as we get our finals campaign underway. A win here for Box Hill to get into the top 8. Collingwood season done for 2019. We'll catch you again to start off the finals next Saturday and next Sunday on SEN2 and also 11-16 SEN. But for now, from Box Hill, it's goodbye.